Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome everybody. Hello and good evening. Welcome to, I know it says Matt and Monsters, but we're actually Hardcore Heels tonight.
dun dun dun.
If I can get rid of the background. Where is it? There it is. And we're back. Well, welcome everybody to Hardcore Heels. I know we haven't been around for you guys since October.
It's been too long.
It has been too long and it's been very busy. But I am your host, Sewer Dweller. And joining me tonight, of course, is what's the best way to put this? The incomparable Dr. Raz T. Slasher.
Mm-hmm.
And his lovely wife, Michelle.
I wouldn't say lovely, but
Whatever.
Well, I mean, I can't. I have a couple other choices where it's
evil.
going to be rude, and you guys know where I live, so
I laugh.
I would use evil, maniacal,
Manipulative. The usual adjectives.
just the usual adjectives for me.
I think someone's happy you guys are alive.
I'm not really alive, I assure you. I feel like death. It seems like I've got walking pneumonia. I'm just too stubborn to go get the actual x-ray to know what I already know.
Now, look, if I can go to the doctor for a dislocated finger.
I went to the doctor. I went to urgent care.
He is on a Z-Pack and Catmiss.
Yeah, I did. She did take me to urgent care. I did not complain. I went willingly. That's why no video. I feel like garbage. And I'm actually awake. I was asleep by 6 p.m. yesterday.
Well, I mean, I don't have video either, but that's because I don't own a webcam yet. I'm still working on that one. But guys, it is. Go ahead.
I would say, and we're also in the car, so it's kind of hard to go video it being dark in the car. So
yeah, and it is pretty dark outside in Dayton. I was having trouble when I was out driving around. I was having trouble seeing the roads.
Oh yeah,
it's overcast. It's really overcast on a dark night.
It is a dark and rainy night. It's almost a great way to start Bloody Binge, but we're here with Hardcore Heels to celebrate. I don't really celebrate, but we're here to talk Royal Rumble.
My favorite pay-per-view, by the way.
Oh my God, it's the best.
It is also mine. I've always loved it. Raz, do you have a favorite elimination from a Royal Rumble? I saw somebody asking this earlier.
Oh man, I don't have a favorite. Really, elimination. There's too many good ones to choose from, but I do have a favorite Royal Rumble.
Which one?
And that was the first one. And here's why. it was such a big deal that it was just on regular TV. Like, you didn't have to pay for it, it was just on TV. And I was a little kid that liked the shadow boxing things while I watched wrestling with my dad. They had to set me down with a jug of water and this little stool, like a little fighter stool, and kept making me sit down during the fucking pay-per-view because I was running so much at like just a couple years old that I was sweating so bad and like trying to catch my breath that I almost fell over 4 times with my excitement. And that memory has never gone away from me.
I remember
it was the birth of something new for me in life. And it just sucked me in, man.
Yeah, dude, it was a great concept, you know.
It was.
The funny thing is the whole reason it even got thought up and Vince put it on the air on USA was because WCW or NWA and Jim Crockett was running the what is it? The Bunkhouse Stampede.
Yeah.
And Vince was basically like, the fuck you are. And you know, this is just what, a couple years after he decided to start putting Survivor Series online or on the TV, just to fuck with Starrcade.
Yep.
And you know, he actually the year after, like, or the second, I want to say it was the second Survivor Series, he actually called up all these cable companies and told them, look, if you want WrestleMania next year, you're not going to show the NWA Starrcade. You're not going to show it. If you show it, I'm not going to let you air WrestleMania the next year.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He was ruthless.
Oh, yeah. And surprisingly, only a couple of companies ever called him out called his bluff. And because everybody else is basically, they'd already seen, you know, I want to say it was WrestleMania 4 he was threatening everybody with. So they'd already seen the success of, you know, WrestleMania 1, 2, and 3, of course. You know, 3 was just phenomenal. They're looking at these, you know, and a lot of these companies said, you know, hey, we made a great decision because Saturday Night Live's main event, February 1988, literally became one of the most watched professional wrestling shows of all time. I don't think it's like the most watched, because I want to say like 31 million people tuned in for Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, the rematch.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Another fun thing for me is pay-per-views before and after this, actual pay-per-views. We had one cable box in the living room that would get the sound perfectly, but no picture. And one in our parents' bedroom that got the picture perfectly from no sound. So we would turn the one in the living room, which is the big giant wooden panel TV, we'd blast the sound all the way up and then go in mom and dad's room and watch just a picture on that one. So we didn't have to pay for pay-per-views for like ever.
That's almost what happened at my grandparents' house too. But it was a WrestleMania that it happened at my grandparents' house.
It was every pay-per-view for years.
My little cousin was obsessed with wrestling, and he wanted to watch WrestleMania. I was staying down there during that time period, and my grandparents had one of those old wooden.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Like nobody stole TVs back in because those TVs were too big to steal.
Yeah, they were.
No.
But they had one of those. The sound was great on that TV, but it was like the picture was black and white and grainy and just crappy. My little cousin had like a 20-inch in his room, so we popped the sound. He like turned the sound all the way up. I come home from work that night and I'm like almost deaf when I walk in the room because it's like,
oh yeah, man, you watch them how you could. They were expensive back then, you know.
Yeah, like $50 almost.
Yeah.
My mom was sitting there paying for WWE and WCW pay-per-views at one point for me.
Oh,
but I actually do have a favorite elimination. Surprisingly, my favorite Rumble is always the '92 Rumble. And a lot of the reason is because of Bobby the Brain Heenan's commentary.
yeah.
Oh my God,
freaking the hell out every time Ric Flair was about to be thrown out of the ring.
Oh my God, I know.
That was the funniest damn thing. 40 years later, it's still the funniest damn thing when you watch it. Because Piper comes out and Piper's like starts beating on the guy that was trying to throw Flair out. And Heenan's sitting there going, I love you, Piper. I love you. It's not a skirt, it's a kilt. And then Piper just starts wailing on Flair and he's like, oh no, damn you, Piper. No, it is a skirt.
It's fucking epic.
That was... Yeah.
Still, my favorite elimination is the end one because for years, I was a Hulkamaniac growing up. I really was. I'm
not gonna lie, I was too. I loved Undertaker as much as I loved Hulk, which was obviously a problem. But
see, I was a Shawn girl, but that's because I grew up in San Antonio, Texas. He was the hometown hero.
That is true.
And he held me as a baby.
We'll talk about Shawn Michaels here in a little bit because we are going to go over Saturday night's main event. From San Antonio, but
yes,
it was always the weirdest thing for me because I'm a Hulkamaniac, but like WrestleMania 5 when it was Savage and Hogan, I remember watching when Hogan walks away with Elizabeth, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, your buddy's in the ring. She ain't hurt that bad. Get your ass back in the ring. And then they break up. I'm like, I kind of have to side with Randy on this one.
Yeah.
And then 1992 kind of sealed it for me. It's like, wait a minute, Hulk Hogan's the face. But, because he's trying to throw Flair out. Sid walks up, throws Hogan over. Yep. Hogan gets pissed that he gets thrown over. And it's like, dude, it's every man for himself. What do you expect him to do? Just not throw you out of the ring?
Yeah,
right. And he just grabs Sid and pulls Sid out of the ring for pulling him out. And it's like, dude, you're the fucking dick in this situation now. Like, what is wrong with you? You're the dick in this.
And who won because of it?
Ric Flair.
Yep.
Nate.
Now, I'll never forget him hiding all over that damn ring.
Hiding under the ring.
No, he was on the apron, like hiding under the turnbuckle. Just
I remember that.
Into a ball.
He hit under the ring for a little bit too. I remember that too. Now, see, for me, my favorite elimination is a non-elimination. And I know you guys are going to think Kofi Kingston. Kofi didn't do it first.
Nope.
John Morrison.
That's true.
That man escaped multiple Rumbles. I mean, he got eliminated eventually, but he escaped elimination at least 2 different times. One with a freaking handstand.
Yeah.
One by jumping all the way over to the freaking like that man had you have to be limber to be able to do that kind of stuff.
I think Kofi just kind of made it an art form.
Kofi did it better because Kofi told Michael Cole, give me the chair.
Yeah.
And he also had Big E as a piggyback ride.
That's true.
And he also did the handstand too.
Yeah. But
John Morrison's non-eliminations in multiple matches because of his parkour.
Yeah. Hardcore parkour.
Yes. And like I said, it's a non-elimination, but he also got eliminated later on. But those were like, you didn't see that shit.
No, but that stuff actually got started with Shawn Michaels and the skinning the cat thing.
Yeah.
Where he one foot hits, the other one doesn't, and he's not eliminated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still pretty cool. They still do it. I always liked it when Mandy Rose was thrown out and Otis was sitting there down on the bottom.
And he caught her.
Yeah, waiting for her. Sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. And she lands on his stomach and he puts her back in the ring. That was always great. But yeah, I mean, there's been some great eliminations. There's been great rumbles. There've been shitty rumbles. I still remember that the first time they did the 40-man rumble and Alberto Del Rio won it, and
oh my god,
just were shitting on.
We're pissed.
They were pissed. They're to the point where they were like, "Look, Santino's still in the match. Can we have him? We'd rather have him.
Yeah.
We don't want Alberto.
Hell, we'd rather have Santina than Alberto."
Yeah. And then a couple of years later, we get the whole thing, that whole debacle where the fans clearly wanted Daniel Bryan to win the match, and I think it was 2 years in a row because the first year they're thinking Daniel Bryan's coming out 30, right? Rey Mysterio's music hits and that place just rains down the booze.
Oh yeah.
Which was crazy because it's fucking Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it wasn't Rey's fault,
Right.
It wasn't.
They
Rey's
just
fault.
weren't wanting him.
That's not who they wanted. They wanted Daniel Bryan, and then the very next year they're sitting here telling you. And I'll be the first to admit, I've done a 180 on Roman Reigns. I am a big fan of the current Roman Reigns character and the current Roman Reigns run. But back in like what I think was 2016, 2017, no, fuck that guy.
I loved that guy. That was the guy. That was the Shield Roman. That was the Roman that I got to like literally physically touch because he came down through the arena.
It was also in spirit the Roman that Undertaker left his kid to in the ring.
Yeah, that Roman is what started Roman.
And it did, like I said, I've done a 180 on it. But I
got bored of the tribal chief shit. Like now I don't mind it as much as it's kind of flipped on its head a lot. But like if they go back to right where it left off, I'm gonna get bored again.
Where they had him holding the belt for so long, I was so tired of it. It was the same story over and over again with the same people. Now he's gonna fight for what he wants again, and I like seeing that.
Well, the storyline they got going on with him right now, I like, is because anyone associated with him is getting targeted. Or who's been associated with him is getting targeted. Drew's going after Sammy. Drew's going after Jay. Kevin Owens, and that whole storyline right now with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes is because the whole thing started because Cody Rhodes teamed up with Roman, and Kevin Owens couldn't take it. He was, this guy tried to end his, and that's what I like about this new era is. This new era with Triple H and that is that they're going back years, they're not, it's not, hey, that shit happened 4 years ago. You're not supposed to remember that. Like, no, we clearly remember that.
Yeah, so, exactly.
And we go back to last year where at the Royal Rumble, they're beating the shit out of Kevin Owens. And, they almost end his career if it wasn't for Sammy. And, now it's to the point, Kevin Owens kind of moved on. He won the tag titles with Sammy. Not only that, if you think about it, who got Kevin Owens sent to SmackDown to begin with?
Yeah, that's true.
It was Cody. Cody got him sent over to SmackDown because he wanted to bring Jay over to Raw.
Yeah.
So, there's just so many reasons that Kevin Owens hates Cody Rhodes. But, all right, let's go back. We're going to go back to Saturday Night Live. The Saturday night's main event. I take it you guys watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I was in and out. I think I was cooking dinner at the time. But I was in and out. I had it on. We'll go to match number 1. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax with Candice LeRae for the WWE Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley wins, of course, with the Riptide. What do you guys
Yes,
thought on
she
that
did.
match?
So, I was in and out during that match, so I didn't get to see a lot of it. We were moving the cats into the kids' room that night, and I forgot to pause it. But what I saw of it, I mean, Rhea absolutely was Rhea Ripley. I love her, but I also love Nia, and I think Nia is coming into her own the way she has needed to, and I love that the fans are opening up more to a larger female as a dominant presence in the WWE.
Well, yeah,
does that make sense?
She's definitely doing. She's having a better run this time. The first run, I wasn't a fan of it. She was hurting a lot of people. Then again, without her being clumsy, we wouldn't have the Becky Lynch that we have. We wouldn't have the man.
Yeah.
But
we also wouldn't have the meme "Ow, my hole."
This is true.
I watched the whole match. Mm-hmm. I deeply enjoyed the match. There was so much athleticism on both sides of this. I've always been a pretty huge Nia fan for the most part, minus the injuries and stuff. But I always felt that she got the shot in terms of pretty much story anything ever. And I know when H brought her back, when things, after the McMahon shit happened, I was worried she'd get shafted again, but I feel like they've given her the spot that she deserved, and she's earning it, on her own as well.
Yeah.
But I still feel like, Rhea deserved the win that she got here, straight up. Honestly, yeah, she's hot. Definitely. She's very attractive. But at the same time, as far as athleticism goes, I haven't seen a wrestler like her that actually can wrestle and is badass and just doesn't put up with people's shit since China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And
that's the biggest compliment that I can give her.
Here's the thing about Nia. Nia, outside of her wrestling gear, is actually very attractive.
Oh,
she's a gorgeous woman.
And they always give her the most unflattering ring attire ever, and I don't understand why.
Yes. Though, have you noticed that her ring attire is becoming?
Yeah, it's been getting better.
But that's also because we are out of the era of Vince McMahon, and we are in this era where all sizes are welcome.
Yeah, which is important, and it's about damn time.
Yes.
But at the same time, Dewdrop was getting better costumes.
She was.
Oh, she's getting good costumes. She's getting good costumes now as well. Piper Niven is.
Yeah.
Her working with Chelsea's definitely helping her out a lot too.
Oh, it is. It is.
But from what I watched of the match, it's Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wasn't going to lose this match. It's her first title. It's technically her first title defense. And they're trying to get her. They're trying to move her on and move her away from Liv and the Judgment Day and everything like that. So
it's about time. It was a good story, but it's lived its course.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people were complaining about the first Netflix Raw on Netflix, and that, of course, Rhea won. Blah blah. Well, yeah, Rhea was gonna win. Rhea had to get her comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly, and it made sense to be on Netflix on the premiere.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why I don't think a lot of people understood about that first episode. Was it was meant to end the two big storylines on Raw, which was Balor, Damian Priest. Which that was the next week. I'm sorry, that was the next week. It was meant to end basically Liv and Rhea, and then give us that CM Punk match, that CM Punk Seth Rollins match that everybody's been clamoring for a year. So yeah, I mean it's great that hopefully they can move her on from Liv. Hopefully they give her a decent opponent for WrestleMania.
I think there's a lot of solid people to choose from, man.
There is.
Yeah.
You got to look at the star power because it is WrestleMania, and and there's some people coming back, and there's some people that are out there that could use the bump,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on to our next match, they in the crowd they show Mark Henry, Alundra Blaze, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Yep.
But our second match, to me, was the match of the night: Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship.
That was such a good fucking match, man.
I missed that entire match because of the cats.
It was so good.
I need to go back and watch it.
Shit out of each other.
Yeah. There was no pageantry. It was, this is a fucking match, and that's all we care about right now.
It's going to be a brawl. I'm going to have to definitely go back and watch that.
It wasn't showboating or anything, really. It was just, they were hardcore going at it.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, in my opinion, is one of the breakout stars of today.
Yeah.
But I don't see that because of who his parentage is. I see that because of his physicality. He has a presence. He demands. And
his technical skill.
Yeah, like his presence in the ring, he demands your attention.
He's also not stuck on himself like his parentage.
No, he's not. And that's
that helps.
I see him more as Scott than I do Rick. I see more of Scott in him than I do Rick. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I like that he doesn't use his name to get anywhere.
I think a lot of them are starting to do that, though, because even in NXT, Brian Pillman Jr. doesn't go by Brian Pillman Jr. He goes by Lexus King.
I know. Ava doesn't go. Yeah.
They want to pay their dues the right way. That they're from families that know you pay your dues, that you don't just use your name to flounce, a career.
Yeah.
They're not Charlotte. I mean, oh my bad.
She looked like a man.
But they just beat the shit out of each other. Every time these two wrestle, every time, Sheamus, I've noticed when it's a guy who he can basically wail on and he doesn't have to hold back against, Sheamus will put on a damn good match.
Yes.
Again, I've never been the biggest fan of Sheamus until recently when his match with Gunther last year. was
Oh.
phenomenal.
Oh, that was so good.
His matches with Drew McIntyre, his matches lately with German guy
Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser have been
Yeah.
amazing.
But you got to think, though, in his history as a wrestler, his best matches and his most beloved matches have always been people that have been on even footing with him, like people that would actually give him challenges.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like he gets bored and showboats his ass off, like you said, and holds back, and he just doesn't seem like he's putting passion into it.
Think about the brawl that he had with John Cena.
That one was actually really good
That
on
was
both
a
sides. And
brutal brawl.
I like John Cena as a person, but we know I don't care about him as a wrestler.
Yeah. But that John Cena showed he could.
They both killed it in that match. I got to give it to him.
Yeah. Like, but Sheamus, he doesn't hold back if he doesn't have to, he does it, and I can't wait to watch this match.
And I think they're teaming him up against, they're putting him against people that are going to bring the best out of him.
Yeah, I like that people aren't doing memes of him anymore. The fat Sheamus shit, dude. That was some stupid fucking, really bad photo editing that some nasty ass people did, and I'm sorry, why are you gonna fat shame a man? He can probably bench press 3 of you.
I'm back to the button. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Braun Breaker goes on. He retains the title, keeps the Intercontinental title, with the spear. But it was great match.
It was close.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So, more classic, more old time wrestlers in the crowd. We have Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Brainbusters,
first Royal Rumble winner.
The Brainbusters, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Dory Funk Jr., I thought that man was dead.
I did too.
I thought he was dead. I saw him in the ring. I'm like, dude, he's older than Terry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I thought that man was dead. I'm not going to lie.
I was shocked.
I thought he was a corpse.
But next up on the show, we get the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens contract signing. It's your typical contract signing with Shawn Michaels, of course.
My man.
They go back and forth. They talk their shit, do what they got to do. And then Kevin Owens cuts his promo, and Shawn Michaels just goes, dude, you sound jealous.
Yeah, I know.
Owens gets mad, signs the contract, shoves it at HBK. Sucker punches Cody. Shawn Michaels shoves him away. Kevin kicks him in the gut and goes for the package pile driver, but once again, Cody to the rescue. And then the moment that brought the entire crowd to its feet, Shawn Michaels hits Kevin Owens with the sweet chin music.
Sweet chin music.
Yep.
Oh, I love that, man.
Blast in the past I'll never get tired of.
That's the thing. I've seen so many people yelling at each other when they're like, yeah, look, it's the super. That is not a super kick. That is sweet chin music.
Yep, there is a difference.
If Shawn Michaels is doing it, it is sweet chin music.
If you're not tuning it up, it's a super kick. If you're tuning it up, it's sweet chin music.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't knock your ass out and end the match, it's not sweet chin music. It's just a regular super kick.
Yep.
So fun little, back and forth between them. Helps push the match for Saturday. You guys got any thoughts on the whole situation?
Honestly, not really. It was just a joy to see that sweet chin music.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it's a joy for me. It's a joy to see Shawn Michaels anytime.
Oh yeah,
because it's Shawn Michaels. He's just, yeah.
He's a legend.
Okay, making sure. I thought I was off on Twitter real quick. So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was okay. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was the contract signing with a celebrity legend mediator. It's not like they're ever going to go any different.
With the hometown,
there's been a formula since the '80s, and it'll never change.
Yeah, with the hometown guy who got the good pop that they needed.
Yep.
So then we move on to our next match. I expected a lot more out of this match, but it did what it was supposed to do. Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Braun wins via disqualification after Fatu basically beat the living shit out of Braun
Oh.
Strowman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it did what it was supposed to do.
I had no real feelings on that match either way, to be honest with you.
I was looking forward to it because I love Jacob Fatu. I remember I watched a lot of his stuff on the Indies, and Braun. I am actually a fan of Braun, but
I like them both. I just wasn't, I guess, overall that impressed with the match itself the way it went down. I feel like they could have done something better.
I think they will down the line. But the match, to me at least, the match was meant to make Jacob Fatu look like a badass now that he's out from underneath Solo.
Yeah.
Until Solo comes back and they do whatever they're going to do with Solo. But it did what, to me at least, it did what it had. It did what it was supposed to do, and it made Jacob Fatu look even more like a badass. They kind of the same way they did with Bronson Reed when he was splashing the shit out of people, and
oh my god,
the brawls with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, disqualification. Everybody kind of knew. Oh, that's what I meant to talk about too. Is during the Braun Breaker Sheamus match, I think Jesse Ventura was calling it.
Yes, and he was running his mouth the whole time.
Well, he did what Jesse does.
Yep.
Jesse should, because Jesse, that was always my favorite thing about Jesse Ventura, is he would call out the hypocrisy of the face announcers. And he lost his shit when the referee counted 3 and then pointed at the foot. But it doesn't matter. He counted 3. Sheamus is the champion.
Yep.
Reason I say is because they go to Joe Tessitore and Jesse Ventura at what I guess they're going to start calling the Okerlund position. We get another clip. Yeah. Any thoughts on the Okerlund position?
I got to see how it progresses, man.
Get rid of the podium.
Yes. Get rid of the podium. That's for sure.
Gene never had a podium. He would stand in the entryway or he'd stand off to the side. And do his interviews. Get rid of that podium. But then again, I'm also the one who sits back and goes, "Why the fuck is there not a cage on War Games? Why is there not a roof on War Games?" So
Agreed.
then we get a clip of Triple H inviting ISO Speed to the Rumble because get the young people watching.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Then we go to the main event: Gunther defending the title against Jey Uso. Any thoughts?
To me, this match was kind of the joke I thought it was going to be when it got set up.
Michelle, anything from you?
Honestly, I wanted this to be better than it was.
I like Jey Uso.
I like him, but the matchup was just terrible.
Well, the thing is I've noticed lately after his entrance, nobody cares.
Yeah, everybody's all like about the entrance, but then it's like, oh, we don't care about you after.
Time for the tag team to come back.
It's almost as if they're fucking tired. By the time he gets to the ring, the crowd's worn out. It's like, okay, we just yeeted our fucking selves to death. Can we take a breath?
We don't have the New Day as they once were, so now we've got him to eat things around for a while.
I love what they're doing for the New Day, though.
Oh, so do I, by the way. But my point is they need a face to come hype people up like overly much so everybody can make fun of it, but also love it at the same time.
Like, the one thing I think the New Day needs to do, if they really want to push the limits, bring Ridge Holland into the group.
That would be epic, actually, yes.
That would be the biggest troll against Big E, is bring Ridge Holland from NXT, he's actually doing some pretty good work down there.
He is.
Yeah. And put him in the group, and that's like the biggest fuck you to Big E.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just felt that, you're matching these two people up against each other, and Jay's a great wrestler. I really enjoy him. He's cool. But, not against the ring general, man. It just... I don't know. The match just didn't do it for me.
I think Saturday night's main event is going forward. It's going to be that nostalgia
yeah.
that everybody wants.
Oh yeah, that's what it should be.
Oh yeah.
So that's
it's like the what if of the Marvel world, basically.
Yes. So, which I've been watching that. It's actually pretty entertaining.
It is.
So Gunther wins via I'll give it to him though. He power bombed the shit out of Jay. Like
He
that
did.
first power bomb that when that freaking snap when he brought Jay down, I thought Jay got whiplash.
Oh yeah.
But that's gonna do it for Saturday night's main event. We'll move on to Raw real quick. We'll go through Raw really quickly. Raw opens up with Seth Rollins, Gunther, and Logan Paul. Logan Paul controlled that audience and had that audience in the palm of his hand.
Yes, but did you see Seth Rollins' mouth to Gunther? Whose music is that? He did not know who was coming out because Logan Paul is that unmemorable. I know I've said before that the things that Logan Paul has done are really good, but people hate him both inside and outside the ring. I've seen people talking about with Logan Paul, they want to see a tag team with him and Dom.
Yeah.
And call them the heels. Because Logan got that was the booze that we heard from Dom.
Yeah, but Logan's not in the same skill level as Dom.
No,
I feel
he's
like Dom's
not.
a lot more skilled than
Oh
Logan.
my God, Dom, and that's why Dom's in-ring persona is a heel, but his outside, everybody loves him. Outside, everybody hates Logan. Inside, everybody hates Logan.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is he knows how to take advantage of that, and use it to his advantage because he's a heel. Fuck it, boo the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It's like MJF in AEW. The only difference is MJF is hated because he says very offensive, push the envelope shit. Logan Paul just has to walk out.
Yeah.
And that place.
That's the thing. As a person, a human being, I really don't like Logan Paul at all. But as a wrestler, he puts on a good show as a heel.
He does.
And he does have some skill that cannot be denied, whether you like him or not.
And the thing is, he's learning new skill because of who he's training under. He had to. The thing is, he came into the company as this fly by the seat, like, oh my God, this YouTuber wants to be a wrestler. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And it's same with Jake. I'm sorry, I don't like Jake or Logan. I think they're both disgusting human beings for what they did in Japan. First of all, I will never not like them because of that. Because of that right there. Because of Japan, I will never like them. But people have such a hatred for him that he does command the audience, and that is where the audience doesn't realize he's playing them.
Yes, and
it's a good market reach.
Yeah, and that's what makes him a great promo and a great hand to have. Is he's gonna get that reaction, which in wrestling, booing, cheering, it doesn't matter. The reaction is what sells. You want to see this guy get the shit kicked out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to pay money to watch it, Why did everybody spend all that money to go see Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? Because the hope was they were going to have a real fight and Mike Tyson was going to fucking kill this kid in 90 seconds like he's known to do. And unfortunately,
but instead we got Jake Paul acting like he's the best boxer in the world.
Basically, we get a promo between the three of them. Gunther and Seth is talking about how he's going to win the Rumble. Gunther doesn't like that. He comes out, does his shtick. Logan comes out and basically says he's going to be joining. He's going to enter the Royal Rumble, and talks a lot of shit. And I just love Gunther's reaction where he just smirks and looks at Seth. He goes, "You know what? I changed my mind. Now I want him to win the Royal Rumble so I can beat the shit out of him at WrestleMania."
Yeah.
So
that was the best part.
Yes, we move on. We get an interview backstage with CM Punk and Kathy Kelly. Sammy comes in. They have a back and forth. I don't remember much of it, just because Karrion Kross gets involved and Karrion Kross starts, telling Sammy he doesn't need to worry about his reputation, and
Yeah.
Sammy tells him to stop with his mind game. Basically, he's doing the same shit with Sammy that he's done with Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio and Miz, and it's a good shtick. I'm a huge Karrion Kross fan.
Yeah.
I wish they would have finished the stuff with him and the Wyatts before sending the Wyatts over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, basically, we move on. We get our first match of the night for the World Tag Team Championship. War Raiders versus Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. And this was, to me at least, I think this was a star-making match for JD McDonough.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
Because, needless to say, I think everybody's seen it by now. Halfway through the match, JD does this moonsault off the top rope and just damn near breaks his neck on that new table that doesn't budge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was. Whew. It was scary too, though.
You could hear the crowd audibly like, "Oh shit! Did we just watch somebody die?"
Oh yeah.
And when he got back on the apron, he got cheered.
I know how he didn't get an injury from that.
Oh,
honestly.
he did. He suffered a punctured lung and a couple of broken ribs.
Are you serious?
And he still went on to finish that match.
Oh my! I didn't realize he'd actually gotten injured. That makes sense with how he was moving. Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here. I was worried about I'm worried about his neck and everything, but I'm worried about his head going. This guy's at least got a concussion. He's at least got a concussion.
Yeah, I thought the way he got up, he at least had a concussion, but I didn't think it was any more serious than that. But I'm surprised actually about the lung and the rib. That's crazy.
And it's like dude, take a break. Let Dominic wrestle the match. It'll be fine. Because he's got the War Raiders are kind of stiff and they're big dudes, and you guys aren't very big. And but it was still funny listening to them going, well, it's because he had he's got that giant forehead. That's why he didn't. He can keep going. He's built different. But
he's all forehead.
I honestly think you almost got to bring him back as a face.
Yeah, he's actually going to be out for a couple of months, is what he has stated on social media. He's going to be out for a few months. I mean, a punctured lung takes a while to recover from.
Yeah, they may have to bring Finn back sooner.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I think they're just going to kill. They're going to kill Judgment Day eventually, anyways.
That's what they need to do. They've needed to do that for a while.
But I didn't think anything of this boy. I call him a boy. To me, he's still a boy. He's a kid. I didn't think anything of this kid when he first came out. He's nothing. He's just he's a bigger hornswoggle.
Yeah, basically.
Is what I thought about this guy. But what he did on Monday night, you don't see people do that and get back up. I've only seen a couple wrestlers do shit like that and get back up. No. Jeff Hardy being one of them.
But he got up after everything.
Yeah, but he also got up after a punctured lung, jumping from the freaking top of the scaffolding. Yeah. But he actually is impressing me more, and it takes a lot to impress me in wrestling because I've seen it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. So the War Raiders end up going on to win the match, keeping retaining their titles via pinfall after the War Machine. It was the War Machine on Mysterio. I like the War Machine. I like the War Raiders. I've always liked the War Raiders. I like them in Ring of Honor. I like them.
Same.
I've met Ray Monroe a couple of times along with his wife, Sarah Logan. And
they're from, right?
Yeah, they're from Ohio. They have a ranch in Western Ohio, I believe.
They also own a campground.
Oh no, I didn't know about the campground. I knew they had a ranch.
They own a Viking themed campground in Ohio.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
We actually thought about getting married there. Mm-hmm. I remember that now.
Yeah, because I remember Crazy Mary used to come through. Back in the early 2010s as she was Crazy Mary, and she was dating Madman Pondo at the time. I don't know what happened to them because there was an incident with the people who own Rockstar and Madman Pondo, and he didn't come back, so she didn't come back until she got with Ray Monroe, and then she started coming back, which was great because she was actually a really good wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Her style never really translated to WWE, and the Valhalla character was cool as a manager, but just not, she wasn't going to
Anything
go
else?
far with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go to backstage. Ludwig Kaiser is trying to curry favor with Pete Dunne and says, they're talking about somebody needs to show Penta how things are run here. The New Day walks in and they just completely fucking ignore him.
Yep.
Kathy Kelly asks Xavier Woods about his upcoming match with Mysterio. Kofi cuts Kathy off and starts complaining about biased officiating.
Yeah.
Atlanta's favorite son has come home, and Kathy mentioned Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, and Cody Rhodes. All from Atlanta. And Xavier says that he's going to beat the brakes off Ray, not only in front of his city, but in front of his family. He spent a lot of money for these front row seats.
Yep.
Well, which is weird because in most sports in that they get free seats in the front row.
Well, the joke was that he wasn't important enough to get free tickets. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like when I went to Raw last year, we sat third row, and Braun Strowman's woman was sitting in front of us most of the night till his match, and she left. Sonya Deville's wife came out a couple of times when she was out there taking pictures and that, and it's funny. It is funny.
Yeah.
Then they break the news that Zelina Vega is heading to SmackDown. She will no longer be part of the LWO.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Which I think they need to kill that. They need to kill it because nobody cares about anybody but Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
It was good while it lasted. It was good to help Ray go after the Judgment Day when it needed to be done.
Yeah.
And Legado del Fantasma when that was that was the big feud, yeah. But yeah, it needs to go. I like Joaquin and the other guy. I never remember the other guy's name. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro. I think it's Cruz del Toro. But they're not it. They're not it. They're like Joaquin Wild wrestles most of the time on main event. So I mean, I guess it's good. That's good they have him there. But they did. It's time to go with the LWO. Dragon Lee doesn't need it. Rey Mysterio definitely doesn't need it. I think the only cool thing about the LWO anymore is the fact that they use Eddie's Viva La Raza.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now our next match, Rey Mysterio with the LWO versus Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. I didn't really watch this match too much. I was cooking dinner. I'm pretty sure I was cooking dinner at the time.
I watched the whole thing.
And what'd you think?
They got their asses handed to them, and every time they started getting, fighting back, they would start acting like assholes. Then, Ray and LWO would just take the match back over and fuck them up more.
Mm-hmm.
The ending of the match was hilarious, though. Did you see that part?
I did, where Woods' family showed up wearing New Day Sucks t-shirts.
Yeah, and apparently they had a shirt for Ray, too. And they gave Ray a shirt, and he put it on, too.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. But
It was epic.
Rey Mysterio wins via pinfall. We go backstage, and Sami Zayn and Seth wants Seth to know that, he really didn't, that the Helluva kick was not intentional. It was a mistake. Seth says he knows Sami very well. They go way back, but Sami needs to understand why Seth, maybe Seth feels like it wasn't a mistake. And basically says whatever this relationship he has with Roman Reigns, it doesn't resonate well with other people. Again, we're going back. Roman Reigns and that relationship it's starting to hurt these guys.
Yep. It's all falling apart.
Jey Uso comes down to the ring with, I guess, Quavo, or I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, neither.
I will say this right now, though. I think it's hilarious. Dave Meltzer was so pissed that they had so many rappers on Raw. Like he went out of his way to call out that they had all these rappers on Raw, and I'm sitting here looking, going, they're in Atlanta.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Atlanta's kind of a big hub of hip hop. And my other question is, why didn't you say that shit a couple months ago when they were in Nashville? and they had a bunch of white guys with hats on.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a little weird there, Dave. A little weird there.
Yeah.
Or why was everybody so upset to see Travis Scott smoking a blunt on Raw?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we were all expecting the F-bomb to be dropped. We weren't expecting to see a blunt smoked.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, the funny thing is they flat out told you, yeah, we're not going to be cussing, guys. You're not going to, it's not going to be like this free-for-all. We do still have sponsors.
Yeah, but
you can tell they've slacked up a little bit, though.
For somebody to just literally come out smoking a blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he wasn't a superstar, but still.
Yeah. They've slacked off on regulations, but not, within a reasonable amount, I feel.
I mean, Travis Scott's a pretty big star, though. He's a pretty.
No, when I say, I mean,
wrestler,
like WWE superstar, like not a wrestling superstar.
Yeah, no, they're using him a lot though. Like he's got he sings the intro to Raw now. They're promoting. Yep. I think he's gonna be at the Rumble promoting his new album.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on with him in WWE, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But we go backstage. Jackie Redmond's interviewing Lyra Valkyria. Lyra mentions she's going to be a fighting champion, and she has some news for us that she's basically going to enter the Royal Rumble. I know, shocker. American Maid joins the conversation, and Gable says that Lyra shouldn't get too comfortable with the Women's Intercontinental title because Ivy Nile is going to take it away from her. I fucking highly doubt that. Lyra says that American Maid should enjoy this moment because this will be as close as Ivy or Gable ever get to an Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so Matt was coming into the room during that promo, and I had to laugh because I don't know what the guy's name is. He was kind of standing behind Chad Gable. He looks like a white Dominic.
It's one of the Creed brothers, I think you're talking
about. He's got the Dominic mullet and everything. And I looked at Matt and I was like, why does he look like a white Dominic Mysterio? And Matt lost it.
And also they needed a new name because time I think of American Maid, all I can think about is the Tick. Because that was their version of Wonder Woman, basically, was American Maid.
Yeah.
I just want them to do something with Chad Gable. I really do. Like, he's not done anything since doing this. After the Wyatt feud, he's just disappeared and they've fallen off a little.
Which is so surprising. I'd like to know what the storyline about his resurrection was, because as we've talked about in a previous show, he was listed as dead.
Yeah. Well, he was dead. Yeah, he was dead. The Wyatts killed him.
We watched it on TV, and there was just no explanation of him coming back to life.
Well, we didn't watch him die. We watched his dead body, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think Kurt Angle resurrected him.
Possibly, because he's getting the "You Suck" chance.
Yeah, I know.
He is.
Hardcore.
But I know his thing now is he's going to be going after luchadors, I guess. So probably him feuding with Ray and then Dragon Lee when he comes back.
Well, him personally, he's actually given interviews before. He does not like the lucha libre style of wrestling. He thinks it is an affront to the wrestling business.
Yeah, he has said that.
He has actually said that in multiple interviews before. Now, he did say that this match with Penta was probably the best match he's ever been in. And he is excited to see what he can do now. And he actually is taking back what he said about Lucha Libre because he realizes that it can be just as athletic as what he does. Yeah. And I like hearing people turn around and turn on themselves and realize that they messed up and said something that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where they're going to have that strength with Penta too. Is Penta can do multiple styles. He's not just going to, he's not just lucha libre. If you need hardcore, which they don't do the hardcore, death matches and stuff. He's done death matches. He's done all this stuff. He can wrestle any way you need him to. And the fact that they're letting him do a destroyer is pretty damn awesome. But
side note, you mentioned death matches. Did you see how much weight Mick Foley's dropped?
I have not, but I know he was just. I take it back. I did. I just saw him on the OVW. He was on OVW last week as Dude Love.
It was a stupid amount of weight that he dropped.
That's good though.
And
I mean, he
he's
looked
got a
good last year.
Well, he wants to retire with a death match, and he couldn't make it happen last year because he didn't lose the weight in time. So he's still pushing for it this year to drop even more weight.
I can let him have that. You know, he's not Flair in his 80s or 70s, whatever, trying to do a match and faking a heart attack halfway through it. But
I mean, he's been hardcore his whole life. If anybody deserves to go out with a death match, it's fucking Mick Foley.
Yeah, let's just not do one of these ones where he's going through like panes of glass and light tubes and shit like that. Let's just do his regular, and let's not throw him off a balcony or anything.
Right.
Let's not let it look like Ric Flair's final match.
No,
Mick's gonna do what he wants. How it's gonna be how Mick wants it. And he's gonna go too far.
Yes.
That's it.
I'm going to go on record and say this: Mick Foley is going to die in the ring, but that's what he wants.
He recognized that as a possibility, and so that's why he's trying to get in the best shape of his life before he does it.
I think they all want to die in the ring, and I think that is, to me at least, that is a very selfish thing to do, because if I'm at a wrestling show, the last thing I want to do is watch a guy die.
I don't think he really wants to die in the ring. He just wants to get back in there one more time to prove to himself that he can still do it. You know, I think that's all it is for him.
Yeah, but you're looking at like Ric Flair. He's like, I want to die in the ring. No, fuck you. I don't want to see it. Vader, when Vader was alive, I want to die in the ring. No, I don't want to see it.
But those guys are assholes there. We're talking about Mr. Christmas over here.
We're talking about Santa Claus.
But
oh my God, he is our anchor being.
Yes.
Mick Foley is our anchor being.
Yeah.
All right, back to Raw. Jey Uso cuts a promo, which is really nothing except I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. You know, like everybody else has said.
Well, and he's going to come back after the ring general because he thinks he can beat him.
Yeah.
We go to our third match: Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and yet that happened.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Overall, I was just not impressed. Even Bianca didn't have as good of a showing in this match as she's had in the past.
Bianca needs to get out of tag teams. She needs to get out of that tag team. She needs to.
She's a better solo artist.
She is. She's much better. Like, I don't like her as the tag team champion. I don't like her. I mean, I understand why they teamed her with Jade, but But
Jade's out now.
Jade, she'll be coming back soon because I think probably maybe even Saturday. But I think it's going to end up being Naomi is the one that attacked her.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's going to be Bianca because watching the videos of what happened during the attack and all that stuff, and after the attack and everything. Bianca did certain things with the camera that made you believe that it was her.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it was either one. I know
Thank you. We love you.
Sorry, Rags is leaving.
I know they want to do Jade versus Bianca, which is a money match. That's a WrestleMania match.
Oh yeah,
and that was something that me and Matt were talking about way earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win the match. Let's see. Liv Morgan basically pins Naomi, probably setting up a tag title match later on.
Yeah.
We go back to Kathy Kelly with the backstage interview with Rhea. I don't really think it's. I know Bailey joins the conversation. You know, it's not really nothing. It's not really nothing.
It's like a kind of like half like mildly talking shit, half respecting each other. It was kind of weird. It was just weird and random.
It's the thing where we got to get Rhea on the show because Rhea's probably our top star right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
definitely the top star in the women's division.
Top star in my dreams. I mean,
my dreams too. Hell, top star in Brooke's dreams.
Yeah.
And then we get a stare down between Io Sky and Bailey. And then Io Sky tells her that she'll see her Saturday.
Yep.
I guess it's announced. Oh, we'll get to that here in a minute. I do got to say they did something funny at this point where Pat McAfee does like the whole John Madden thing on the screen and just starts laying into Michael Cole coming out for the Rumble. And Michael Cole is a sport because he laughed that off and he just kept calling him a dumbass. And
Michael Cole is having so much more fun now than he has in the past 25 years.
Probably.
Oh yeah, because he ain't got Vince yelling at him every 5 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't have Vince in his ear, in that earbud, because they don't have to wear earbuds now to listen to Vince. They can say whatever the fuck they want, and he is having the time of his life.
Also, no more Corey Graves to deal with.
Yeah, no more Corey Graves.
He's on NXT now.
Michael Cole.
If they keep him,
they will. I think it's all. I'm in the camp of I think it's a work because I know he's been cleared to wrestle again. So I think. He's been cleared to wrestle for a while now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, I think he's going to come back as a wrestler.
That would make sense then.
Rumble.
Yeah, possibly. That would be a good time to do
it. Oh, my gosh.
But we now move on to the Penta promo. I always call him Pentagon Jr., but it's Penta. Yeah. I know they legally can't call him Pentagon because of, like, AAA holds the copyright to it. So basically, it's him announcing he'll be in the Rumble and he'll get his WrestleMania moment. And can I say he's been around for 3 weeks now, and goddamn, does he look like a star?
He does.
Well, he's a hell of a wrestler just in general.
Yeah, I mean he already had star quality before he came to the company, and that's the thing. We are getting star quality again. We're not getting these people who look good and need to work on their stuff. We're getting people who are ring ready to go.
And that's the thing is, especially once Phoenix is allowed to come over.
Yeah.
It's that tag team division is gonna get lit.
But,
you know, and it's on top of everything else. The way they're making him look like a star is now affecting AEW because now these guys over there are like, what? I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why Ricky Starks wants out. There's a reason why Phoenix wants out. There's a reason why Malachi Black, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him, wants out.
There was a reason why the Hardys wanted out and got out.
Yeah. Now
they're in TNA, which has a deal with WWE.
Yes, they do. And it's there's going to be a lot more of these guys when their contract comes up. They're just going to be like, well, let me go talk to WWE first, because if they did that for Penta, look at the difference between Ethan Page and AEW and Ethan Page and NXT right now. Huge difference. But we're moving on. Now we get the Paul Heyman segment. It's essentially Paul Heyman cutting an amazing promo as usual.
Always.
And announcing that and showing and basically revealing the cover for the new WWE 2K25 game, which will feature Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns on the cover.
Yep.
Which I called a couple weeks ago. And I told Raz it was going to happen. And he's like, no, it's not. Yes, it is.
Well, it depends on which version you buy, because there's one version you buy where it's the Undertaker.
Yes, you can buy an Undertaker version.
There's a Dead Man version, and then there's also a Bloodline version with the whole Bloodline 3 on it.
Yep.
Those are the ones that I've seen so far.
Yep.
The Bloodline version is almost $200.
Yep.
Yes. Drew McIntyre comes out, interviews him, or interrupts him, and tells him, basically corners him. They cut a promo, and I love at the end. He basically tells Paul Heyman that he needs to go tell his boy that he's going to leave him a bloody corpse on Saturday, and he's just going to toss his ass out. And Paul Heyman goes, okay, I'll do you that favor. I will go tell Roman Reigns. And he stops and goes, I wasn't talking about Roman Reigns.
Yep.
I was talking about CM Punk.
Punk. Yeah.
Drew is not done with CM Punk.
Oh, no, he's not.
There's also that interesting rumor about a new stable.
Yeah.
That's got Paul Heyman managing CM Punk, Roman, and Brock coming back.
Yeah, could you imagine that kind of a stable?
That'd be terrifying.
I mean,
I don't even like Brock, first of all. I never have, never will. But it would be pretty fucking devastating.
Yeah. Because CM Punk is CM Punk's devastating on his own. Roman Reigns is devastating on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar,
unless you make him shit himself, is devastating on his own.
Okay, let's not make fun of diverticulitis.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that's the risk you run.
That is a serious medical condition.
It is.
People, do not make fun of diverticulitis. Although if you hit somebody in the stomach hard enough, you can make them shit themselves on camera. We are telling you, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do this at home, children.
It's a bad time for everybody.
Now, I like Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to lie. He's one of the few legitimate badasses in the sport. And
Listen,
I think that's...
I dislike him. I dislike him because I'm supposed to dislike him because he did a good job.
Yeah. You dislike him, but in reality, you're not going to say it to his face because you know he'll probably pound anybody into a pile of mud.
Oh, as a human being, I'll give him the respect he deserves.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as his character, the character Brock Lesnar, I hate him because I'm supposed to because he did his job.
Exactly.
I like the last one he was doing with the cowboy hat and everything.
No, that one I actually liked.
Brock,
that one was fun.
Cowboy Brock is awesome.
That was pretty fun, actually.
Lifting the ring with a fucking tractor at SummerSlam.
Oh my god, that is the only
things.
That was the one time, you can ask Raz, I actually rooted for Brock Lesnar.
We both did.
Love Roman Reigns. I've loved Roman Reigns since he first came out. I will not root against Roman Reigns except when he was doing that stupid freaking bullshit with the bloodline and head of the table and that shit. I hated that shit, but I was supposed to hate that shit, so I still liked him. But that match, I was rooting for Brock all the way because I wanted to see Roman finally drop that title.
Yeah. And how'd that work out for you?
At least we had the tractor flip the ring. Okay?
Yeah.
We got a tractor that flipped the ring. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, so that segment leads us to our main event match of the night, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. It was an okay match for what it was, but it was one of those matches where you knew all hell was going to break loose at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It was the cliffhanger of the show match.
It was the cliffhanger before Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre pins Sammy, I believe, was it with the, God, what is that? This move called?
Claymore?
Yeah, the Claymore. Then Cody... Then I think he starts beating up on Sammy. Cody Rhodes makes the save. I want to say
Owens came out.
Yeah, Owens came out, and then McIntyre starts fighting with Cody again, and then Sammy inadvertently hits Cody Rhodes with the haluva kick.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny where Owens is walking out the ring, hits him on the chest, goes, "Thanks, bud," and just
walks out. Yeah, I know.
And then Drew just stared at him, grinning because he knows exactly what he just did.
Yep.
Well, here's the other
and Sammy's face is horrified.
On Karrion Kross's Twitter, you actually see there's actually a video of him and Scarlett watching from the back and cheering that he kicked Cody in the face. And saying everything he says needs to happen is going to happen.
I think he's back with. Honestly, I think this is Sammy being sneaky. Personally,
do you think this is Sammy being sneaky like he did with the head of the table shit,
I think
like
so.
he did before?
I think so.
Yeah,
that's Sammy.
Sammy,
especially if you involve
sneaky.
Sammy and Kevin together in anything.
Oh my God, yes,
it is, and I would agree with that if it wasn't the Rumble. I think a Sammy heel turn would be great. I think it's probably what he needs.
It's exactly what he needs right now because he's already getting tired of the people talking shit about him so much.
But after that, I thought the show was over.
I did too.
I'm glad I didn't turn it off because now we get a Cody Rhodes and CM Punk segment. And
I turned it off.
Oh, did you? No.
Yeah, no, we get a really, really good promo. Probably one of Cody's best promos in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
With him and CM Punk, where basically Punk says, "If I win the Rumble, I'm coming after your title."
Yep. It was weird because they're talking about how good friends they were and all that stuff as well. Like he's like, "I'm going to stab you in the front, not the back. I want you to know that out of respect for you, I'm coming for you. I'm not going to be one of these guys that are just, stabbing you in the back. I'm coming from the front.
And once again, like they did this last year when CM Punk came back and he was going to be in the Rumble and that, where they had a face-off with Cody and CM Punk. And the same thing this year. I want this match. That promo made me want that match.
Yep, big time.
So, and that'll end Raw. Not a bad showing. It's not one of their best ones, but it wasn't a bad showing. I still think it's hilarious that, I mean, I didn't know half the rappers that were on the screen anyways. But
me either.
I do still think it's fucking hilarious that Meltzer was so pissed about it.
Meltzer needs to fucking suck a dick.
Yeah, he's an idiot. But okay.
One thing I miss though is like the match back in the day, or the matches leading up to Royal Rumble, where they would all draw their numbers and they would have matches like, oh, I'll put my number on the line for this match. I miss that kind of interaction with the Rumble ahead of time.
Yeah. I also miss, and I kind of hope they kind of bring this back, the balls where you were watching the Royal Rumble match, where you were watching the matches up to the Royal Rumble, and you had your wrestlers drawing their numbers during the Rumble. During the Rumble.
Yes.
Oh, earlier on in the segments,
yeah, during the Rumble. Because, like, I remember, like, one of the first things that got me back, like, one of the first years I was back into wrestling in the early 2000s, I was watching the Rumble. This was actually at the Rumble, and I'm watching it, and Shawn Michaels draws number 1.
Yeah.
And that Rumble is one of the ones with Shawn Michaels draws number 1, and I'm like, yep, this is gonna be a great one. I do miss that, but I liked watching it when it was on the show itself.
I like the interaction between the shows and the actual events.
Can we get into the big news of wrestling today that came out today?
Talking about the Hall of Fame?
Yes. The headliner, and the fact that he did not know about it
until the press conference.
His wife did not know about
it.
She did. No, she actually posted.
Oh,
she did not know about it.
I know who's behind it, though.
Sean and Mark Calloway said, we are making an executive decision, and you are headlining the class of 2025. Not with any groups, but you, the cerebral assassin.
He's in with
Triple H.
He's in with DX. He's in with Evolution.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he is
but he's not on his own.
No, he's now going to be on his own. Hopefully, on top of that, especially with Vince gone, some of these other guys get their shots. That deserve to be in there, because surprisingly, Davey Boy Smith not in. I think he might be in now, but I know for the longest time he wasn't.
I'm not sure if he's in right now or not. Once you did it,
I can't remember.
I can look that up right now while we're sitting here. I know he is as part of the as part of the Heart Foundation.
Oh yeah. You're right. He is.
I know he is as the Heart Foundation.
I thought he was the Bulldogs too.
The only one who's not allowed to be in that is Owen.
Yeah, and that's because of his wife.
That was just bullshit.
Oh, come on. Tony.
Oh, no, he actually was inducted into the Hall of Fame
I thought he
in 2020.
I knew it.
Yeah, in 2020. It was the year that it was COVID, so nobody really paid attention.
I didn't watch much of wrestling during COVID and that because I'm like, the whole empty arena thing bothered me.
It was different. I can say we watched a few matches during that time.
No, we watched all the pay-per-views.
We watched the pay-per-views. The pay-per-views, I liked what they did with the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome. Yeah, the Thunderdome. I can't even say it right now, but yeah, that was
interesting. It was unique.
It was
for a time.
And now the stadium that held the Thunderdome does not exist anymore.
Oh no!
No, it does not.
No, the Hurricane took out Tropicana Field.
Yep.
But yeah, we were going to get into that, but yeah, we can get into it now. It's I think it's great. Triple H deserves it definitely.
He's the man.
I was not the biggest.
He is.
I was not the biggest fan of his in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh,
I hated Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I've loved him since he brought out that fucking poodle as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I've been literally Team Triple H since his first appearance, and I couldn't even tell you why.
Oh my god, that
it was just so stupid of a gimmick in the Attitude Era. But then when he was in the Blade movie, he had the fucking vampire fucking poodle.
The Van Poodle.
He did it. He played Thor in Poltergeist: The Legacy.
The Van Poodle. But okay, in Poltergeist: The Legacy, Undertaker played Death
the Soul Taker.
too.
No, he played the Soul Taker.
Okay, Soul Taker, Death, Soul Taker.
I'm just saying, like, there was just something special about him to me. Like, I was already a Shawn fan too, a pretty big Shawn fan. And when they got together, DX is like my stable of stables. Always will be. Like, outsiders in general. The Click.
Yeah.
The Click is my all-time, and all the versions of the Click.
But like when he came out in those fucking Ric Flair robes and the
powdered face,
it was just
and the ponytail.
It was too not just a ponytail, it was the high ponytail. Literally, if you guys don't know what we're talking about,
and sometimes he'd come out with a powdered wig too.
Yes.
For some of his promos and stuff.
He literally had a ponytail that was at the very tip top of his fucking head.
He was supposed to be a proper pompous Englishman. That was his gimmick.
Yeah.
And he had that big rivalry with Skinner from the Bayou.
It did not work. It was horrible.
You remember that one, but not the one with Phineas or Henry Godwin?
Oh, I remember that shit too. I remember them.
But when he finally ditched that pompous persona, I have loved this man ever since.
When he finally proved himself again to Vince because of the whole curtain call incident.
Yeah. And then he became the man of WWE, period.
Yeah.
So how'd that work out for Vince?
Exactly.
Well, I think it was always meant to be, but I will honestly say I have been proven wrong. I always said once Vince is gone, I think the industry itself is going to go away because people are going to stop caring. But I am 100% wrong. It's better. Not only that, it's so much better now. Like, I think
if everything that hadn't happened or came out, you might have almost been right. But because it all did come out about Vince and the way it transitioned into H, that's why it went the other route.
I think if he had died with nobody knowing any of this, it would have been an end to the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Because everybody would have been devastated about it. People would have been trying to go on and emulate what he created. They're not trying to emulate what he created. They are trying to...
No, honestly, they dismantled a lot of what he did. Over time. But they replaced it with things that were more about the industry than it was about Vince.
And that's what works, because we, as a fan base, are realizing the industry isn't all about Vince. It's about the superstars. It's about the stories. Yeah. And that's what matters. And we don't have a man trying to force a freaking incest storyline on his own daughter.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing about Vince that especially near the end, probably for the last 10, 15 years, before he finally retired, he was forcing shit onto us as the fans and telling us, well, this is what we're doing. But as the fans were going, but we don't like this.
Yep.
You're going to like it or no. And he's saying you're going to like it or else.
Well, and the thing about it was, too, is that it came down to, well, you're still fucking watching.
Yeah.
And that was the thing early. Like, we can honestly all agree, 2010's WWE was terrible. It was awful. But we kept watching, and we kept watching with hope, hope that, hey, this shit will change, right? Like, this is going to stop, era. Right? And then... And the thing, then you have to step back and look at it. It's like, well, they were still making money hand over fist. Why the fuck would they change?
Oh, yeah.
We're still throwing money at them.
Big time.
But, all right, we've been running for about an hour. We're going to take a quick break, I think, so I can go refresh my water.
Sounds good.
When we come back, we'll discuss the NXT results really quickly. We'll go over the Royal Rumble card. Give our predictions and maybe talk a little bit of independent wrestling news because there's some funny shit out there for independent wrestling news right now. I know
Nice.
you guys. I don't think you guys pay attention to indie wrestling as much.
No, not as much. I don't even watch a lot of NXT right now.
You'll recognize something I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But we'll be right back. Give us about 3 minutes and enjoy these ads. That wonderful ad collection that Raz put together.
Yay.
See you guys in a couple minutes.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Octopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And just like that, we're back.
Yes, we are.
we are.
Welcome back, everybody, to Hardcore Heels. I'm your host, Sewer Dweller. Joining me tonight is Raz and Michelle. And
Indeed.
we are talking the Royal Rumble. We're going to go to NXT real quick. I know you did. Did you watch the show at all this week?
No, I didn't.
Not NXT. I didn't have time.
Nah, you're good. Just a quick recap. Bayley and the new NXT Women's Champion Julia took on Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Decent back and forth match. Bayley and Julia win via pinfall after Bayley hits the flying elbow drop onto, I believe, Cora. It was an okay match, just to build more suspense for, build the feud for Roxanne and Bayley right now. I think they're going to bring Roxanne to the main roster, which they need to, because she's done all she can do down at NXT, and she's a good hand. She's almost like a modern day AJ Lee.
That's true.
So I think she'll definitely do wonderful and well on the main roster. It hasn't been, but I think it's actually coming into its own. NXT is coming into its own now. Definitely been a lot more enjoyable to watch lately. Now that Shawn Michaels has taken over the booking. We get a promo with Eddie Thorpe. Whatever. He's there. Then we move on to our next segment, which was the Grayson Waller effect with the new NXT heavyweight champion Oba Femi. Have you guys seen Oba Femi?
I haven't. No, have you?
No.
Dude, this guy is a fucking badass. He's big as hell. His entrance is awesome, and he's just like one of those. He's one of those guys that's kind of like Braun, where he has it already. And I think he's going to be on he'll be on the main roster sooner than later.
I'll definitely check him out.
Yeah, definitely. He's a badass dude. His matches, he's been putting on great matches with smaller guys, not just big dudes, but like with Wesley and with Trick Williams. He's been putting on some really, really good matches. Him and his matches against Tony D'Angelo were for the North American title, where Tony finally beat him. Just great matches. But they do the Grayson Waller effect. They talk shit to Oba. Oba's basically challenges both of them, and they do the shit talking. And Grayson Waller says that he wants the NXT championship. Basically, he steps in front of Austin Theory again. And finally, Ava comes back and comes out and tells reminds Oba that he's not the guy that makes matches around here. And then Trick Williams interrupts, basically takes out A-Town Down Under, and then Oba drops Trick with the fall from grace. Great segment, in my opinion. Again, love Oba. I love Trick. I think Trick's another one that'll go up to the main roster sooner than later. But then that takes us into our next match: Trick Williams and Wesley, the local boy. Wesley accompanied to the ring by Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. Good back and forth match. We've seen this match before. We've seen Trick and Wes wrestle before, but with basically on different sides, with Wes as the face and Trick as the heel. Wesley ends up winning by disqualification after Trick Williams essentially loses it and shoves the ref and just starts beating down on Wesley. They finally get him to stop, and they announce Wes as the winner of the match. Ava's in the back with Oba again, and she tells him basically that she's sick of him trying to overstep her with he has the power to make matches. So of course, at Vengeance Day, Oba will be putting his NXT Championship on the line against both Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So you're so sick of him overstepping you to make matches that you give him the match that he wants. We move on to our next match, which is Fallon Henley with Fatal Influence versus Shotzi with Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Fallon Henley takes her, basically drops her with the hoedown to pick up the victory. And then as Fatal Influence is leaving, Stephanie Vaquer comes out. I'm probably saying her name wrong. And they have a quick stare down, so that's probably going to be her next challenger. Backstage, we have Carmen Petrovic thanking Kalani Jordan, who's having a really kind of attitude change. But she's thanking her for having her back during her match with Jada Parker last week. Kalani says that she wasn't trying to help Carmen. She was trying to get revenge on Jada. Kalani says that sooner than later, Ashante the Adonis will dump Carmen. Yeah, we got a love story in wrestling, which please stop that. And then Carmen calls Kalani a bitch as he walks away. Backstage again, Ava informs Sarah Schreiber that NXT Vengeance Day, not only will there be a triple threat match for the NXT Heavyweight Championship, but for the NXT Women's Championship as well, as Julia will be defending the title against Bayley and Roxanne Perez in a triple threat match. Cora Jade was not happy about Roxanne throwing her under the bus for taking the pinfall in tonight's tag team match, probably setting up some more dissension between the two of them. We knew that was going to happen sooner or later, especially with, like I said, the likelihood that Roxanne Perez is going to go up to the main roster. Moving on, we get Ethan Page versus Cedric Alexander. Ethan Page beats him via pinfall. It's an okay match. It did what it was supposed to do. As after the match, Page basically takes off the bottom turnbuckle. I guess he's going to curb stomp Cedric Alexander, but Javon Evans storms the ring to make the save, and broken jaw and all, chases off Ethan Page. Raz, have you guys? I don't know if you guys are there or not, but have you guys seen Javon Evans at all?
I have a little bit.
I don't think I have now.
That dude is like 19 years old doing that shit.
Yeah, he's super. That's the only reason the name was familiar to me. It's impressive, dude.
Yeah, he's amazing, especially for only being 19 years old. Then we go to our main event: Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Metaphor, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. It was a decent match. The only part of the match that anybody in the crowd really popped for was when Lash Legend and Bianca Belair faced off, because you have two very strong women facing off, and that's a match that shows that that's a match people would want to see. And I know a lot of people have been making a big deal about it, and it is a pretty big deal that this is probably one of the first times that 4 black women main evented NXT.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like I said, not the best match in the world, but at the end of the day, again, I don't like the tag. I don't like Bianca in tag teams. I want her as a single wrestler.
Yeah.
And that's that. I like her better as a single wrestler than I do a tag team. Plus, I've never been the biggest fan of Naomi either. So
same.
I love Naomi, but that's just me.
She's like an attitude era wrestler with her whole stripper thing.
To a point. Let me bring up the card now. We're gonna move on to the Royal Rumble. Bring up the card. I thought I had the card up already, but I do not. Let's see if this one has what I'm looking. Okay, so we still got SmackDown to go through. More than likely, SmackDown's going to end with the whole big brawl that everybody does every year. Before the Royal Rumble, of course. But let's go over the card, give our predictions.
Yeah.
There are only 4 matches announced at this time.
Yep.
We'll
so you've got 2 Royal Rumbles to deal with. Dude, that eats up a lot of time.
It does. I mean, giving the women a Rumble is fucking amazing. I love that we've been doing this for years now.
Oh, yeah.
It needed to be done from the beginning, but we didn't have enough female wrestlers for it.
Yes.
Well, not only that, the women's Rumble has been better every year. Like
it has.
But
plenty of years it's been better than the men's.
That's also why next year it's going to be a 2-night event.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia, of course.
Yeah.
Which is insanely amazing, by the way, considering.
I'm okay with them going over for the pay-per-views. I want the Big 4 to stay over here, though.
Yeah, the Big 4.
I also think that this is kind of a statement, though, at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, you're about to have the most women in a wrestling match in Saudi Arabia.
Of all places.
Yeah,
That's
that
why,
is true.
That's why I kind of feel like it is important for like the world stage to have this there.
Yeah, it is. It is. That is
as
true.
much as I'd love to go to it, I'm glad it's, there's a point to it.
It's only 2 hours away. We're only 2 hours away from Indianapolis. I'm not going to
we're talking about Saudi Arabia.
Ah.
That one, yeah.
We will get to that here in a minute. We will talk about that when we talk about the Rumbles. So the first match, the newest match they've just announced, the WWE Tag Team Championships will be up for grabs as DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa defend the titles in a 2 out of 3 falls match against the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Seeing the Motor City Machine Guns in the WWE is fucking amazing.
It is.
Yes.
And as much as I like Wish version of DX, I feel like the Motor City Machine Guns have this.
I wish they got a better reaction.
Me too.
Not that, I love Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, not that they get reaction either. I 100% wish that where I set my drink. Damn. I 100% wish they would get better reactions.
Yeah.
But I do like both. Michelle, who do you got in this match?
Honestly, I want to see the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, I've been watching these two since TNA started back in the day. I actually was a TNA girl. Like when TNA started on, Spike Network, I watched that shit. I fucking loved that shit because I thought that kind of the ring, the six-sided ring, it was so amazing. And these guys had to fucking be even better than a 4-sided ring.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So like I love the Motor City Machine Guns. I want to see them take it all the way.
And so you guys want to, so basically you're both that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to take back their titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will disagree on this one. Only because I'm okay with either team winning. That's the thing. But I think they got to stop with the hot potato titles, and that's what they've been doing for the past couple of months. The Bloodline didn't do anything with them. The Motor City Machine Guns defended them. DIYs defended them. I think Pretty Deadly's going to get involved at some point in the match. I believe Humberto and Angel Garza will get involved in the match. But I think DIY is going to keep the belts. And even if they don't, as long as the Machine Guns get a long run, I'm okay with it. I don't like hot potatoing the titles back and forth like this.
Yeah, we need some kind of settlement here,
We need stability.
I'm kind of hoping, like you said, with hoping like a couple different like tag teams get in the mix. I'm kind of hoping we get a tag team elimination chamber.
I'd like that, actually.
I think we've done
Something
that before.
similar to at least.
I think we have done that before, though, and I don't think
We've done it once.
I don't think it worked out very well.
It kind of did, because both members of the team are in the same pod. So when that pod opens up, you're good to go. And like, I feel like this, especially with the Motor City Machine Guns being as athletic as those two are, that them going into making an elimination chamber tag match, not tag match, but like a Texas Tornado style elimination chamber match with tag teams needs to happen again.
Yeah.
So okay, we're 2-1. We're 2-1 on this match. You guys go for the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm saying DIY is going to retain.
I am happy for the gimmick match though. 2 out of 3 falls. We haven't seen a good one of those in a long time.
Yes, especially a tag team.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
We have not, and this promises to be a very, very good match.
Oh yeah, no matter who wins, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the Women's Royal Rumble. The only ones announced for the match so far: Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair. I don't know why you announced Charlotte Flair. Why is she not a surprise?
It's the return of Charlotte Flair.
No one cares about.
We have Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, and 20 other women who have not been announced yet.
I thought Rhea put herself in it.
Rhea's the champion.
I know, but I thought she said she was going to go in anyway. I thought she said that.
No, she joked about jumping into the men's Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
I would love to see that happen, though.
But I think she was making fun of Nia at the time because Nia did it and got RKO'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, okay, here's the thing. Nobody is immune from the RKO, even his own wife and children.
That's true.
This is true. So
but he's not even immune from the RKO because his own kids and wife will do it to him too. So
Tommaso Ciampa's been trying for a year to RKO him out of nowhere.
I know. I've been watching the videos
on TikTok and it just doesn't work.
It's fucking hilarious.
So, all right. Winner of the do you have any idea, any guesses who might win the Women's Royal Rumble match?
Guesses? No, but I have a couple surprises that I got in mind that I would love to see happen. I would like to see Becky win it, but that is also a surprise entrant if that happens.
I think she's coming back. I do see her coming back on Saturday.
Yeah.
Any other surprises you think will happen?
I really, really hope, and this is a hoping against hope situation, because he's been back for a couple years now.
Well, no. We're talking women. We're talking to women. We're not.
I know. I'm saying her husband has been back for a couple of years now.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And everybody wants to see her come back. AJ Lee.
They keep teasing it. Punk himself has teased it.
Yeah,
I know.
I just don't think she wants to.
And that's the thing. Roz and I were talking about. She got severely injured.
Yeah.
To the point where she was almost paralyzed. So she may not want to because of that fear of possibly re-injuring yourself to paralyzation.
Yeah.
Not only that, I know she's writing books now. I think she's writing children's books.
Yes, she is a children's author.
But yeah, it would be a huge pop if she did.
Oh yeah.
I loved AJ. I thought she was adorable.
I do feel like it's going to be Becky. That's what I think. I think she's going to come back. I think she's going to win it.
Any surprises, Raz, that you think will happen?
I mean, I agree with the Becky thing, but I'm not really sure what surprises we have left as far as women that are in good shape to come back. We've had the Beth Phoenix, we've had Lita, we've had a number of people come back in previous years.
Trish, Mickey.
We've had Mickey before.
Yeah, the legends will come back. Mickey still wrestles.
Yeah, I think we'll get some of the legends, for that night. But
we're gonna get some of the ones. Oh, so go ahead.
Nikki Bella.
Oh yeah, she's been doing more shit lately. Yeah.
I know Brie has been talking about coming back.
Yeah.
I don't want them back. I hate the Bellas. I can't stand the Bellas.
Not a big fan of them either.
I hate the ground they walk on. There is nothing appealing about the Bellas to me.
I agree with that.
But surprise-wise, I'm thinking Becky. I'm thinking maybe Alexa Bliss, because she's been gone for a long time.
I want to say Alexa, but she was supposed to come back, and there was some kind of an issue.
There's a contract issue, but I know I think there's something wrong with her, like a health issue with her son.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Or her,
that's what I heard about. Yeah.
But there's other issues and stuff like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa shows up. We're definitely gonna get some NXT women in there. Definitely get some legends. Jordan Grace, I would say Jordan Grace, but she made a post saying that she's gonna be celebrating her mom's birthday with her.
Yep.
And
Yep.
showed a ticket from Austin to Atlanta.
That is.
That doesn't mean she won't be there, but especially because she did just sign with the WWE.
Yep. Maybe she's just going to pick up her mom, and they're both going to go there.
Never know. It's a hell of a drive from Austin, Texas, or Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know where she lives, but to Indianapolis.
Like they're going to drive.
Yeah.
Private jets.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Masha Slamovich, who's the current TNA champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women's champion. Probably Ash by Elegance, the old Dana Brooke. There's a bunch of women over there that could pop in. I'm going different than you guys, though. I'm going Charlotte because I think they want to do Charlotte and Tippy time.
I just don't like Charlotte, I guess.
I'm okay with her. I think she does good. I think she's got to drop the part time because she gets injured a lot. I
also feel like she's hurt more people than Nia.
Who? Sorry.
Charlotte Flair.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. But that's who I think's going to win because they want a Charlotte Flair versus Tiffy time match. So even if she doesn't win this, she'll end up winning the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, she'll win something coming back.
Yeah.
Her and Becky both will.
I don't know. See, I don't know about Becky. I don't know if they want to do Becky and Rhea again. Because that's essentially you got to look at is who they're going to face and everything. But it's such a weird lineup this year that I don't see Nia winning it. I don't see Bianca because I'm almost 100%. I'm like you guys. I think Bianca's going to be the one that took out Jade, and it's going to be Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, we've already had her. She's just not that. She's not that name.
She's going to go tag teams, which makes sense right now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Charlotte. That's going to be my pick. Our next match, the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defends against Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll have you go first because we're ordering in a drive-thru really quick.
Okay, no. I'm going Cody, unfortunately. I want Kevin so bad to win this. I am pro Kevin Owens. I think Kevin is right. I think Cody is a terrible friend. And everything Kevin Owens what Kevin Owens says makes sense. Everything's been handed to Cody since he come back. Everything, he knew Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns tried to injure Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble last year. And he still, or the year before, and he still went through with the match. He still helped Roman when Roman needed it. Go back last year, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were on a great run. They lose the tag titles, and then instead of getting a rematch, Kevin gets traded to SmackDown because Cody has to bring his buddy Jay over.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Cody, I think Cody's keeping it. Cody's the money, and they want Cody either versus. It's going to be Cody. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But I think Cody's going to Mania.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
1 second, sorry guys. All right, okay, we're safe. We're out of this drive-through. We're
and ladies and gentlemen, that is how Raz and Michelle order their food from a drive-through.
Yes, really quickly. We placed orders ahead of time, so we just come and tell them we were here and pick it up, so it wouldn't be as bad. Now we have to pick up Taco Bell for the kids, which is also ordered ahead of time, so it's easier. I also think Cody's going to keep it. I feel like Kevin was trying to make some promises there to Sammy about, giving him a title shot when he had the belt, yada, yada, yada. I think he's going to – they're building up him and CM Punk too much.
Yeah.
For this showdown. I don't see Kevin taking it off of him right now. I just don't.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Cody. And the only reason I see this, I have an eye for the storylines, and Raz can tell you this.
Yeah.
And the only reason, and it's not just because of the whole CM Punk Cody Rhodes storyline that's being built up, but there is still a lot of unfinished business with the bloodline that's still being hashed out in the past.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Cody, but with caveats.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we all in agreement on that. Tell you what, I'm going to take a shot of Fireball real quick just because we all agreed.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, during the break, I got me a shot. I was going to bring one back to Jennifer, but Jennifer is sleeping.
Aww.
So I'm taking her shot.
Ooh, we have honey whiskey for this weekend.
Well, she made me buy some Fireball on the way home because I lost my wallet while I was out working. So
yeah,
kind of panicked her too.
Oh yeah, understandable.
Because I slipped and fell in someone's yard and my wallet fell out of my pants and the lady's checking to make sure I'm okay. You know, because I landed on my shoulder because 2 weeks ago I dislocated my finger and I don't want to I didn't want to try to catch myself with that hand and do it again.
Yeah.
So I landed like straight on my shoulder, and she's the lady who owns the house is asking me, "Are you okay? Are you? Oh my god!" It's like I'm fine. I roll my ankle. I roll my ankle all the time. Raz knows this. I rolled my ankle at the dungeon and fell down about half the stairs there. But yeah, I left my wallet at her house and had to cuss out DoorDash because they didn't want to tell me where she lived, and yeah. Luckily, I remember where her house was, and she was outside waiting for me.
That's good.
Yeah. So happy ending, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Fireball. I prefer a little stronger than Fireball, but that's what she likes. So, but now we move on to the main event. I don't know which one's going to be the main event, but to me, the men's Royal Rumble. So far, announced we have half the lineup announced. LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes have all announced that they will be in the Royal Rumble.
That's a lot of names compared to the women.
There's about 5 extra names. There's 10 announced. There's 10 announced for the women and 15 have announced for the men, but that is also before Friday's show.
Yeah.
So first of all, do we expect any surprises?
Surprises.
I think one, if not all 4 faces of Foley will appear.
I hope that will happen. We've seen it before.
I think at least Dude Love will appear briefly.
He's been doing a lot of Dude Love stuff lately.
Not just with it, but I mean, doing it at TNA though, I think was a little bit of a message too.
Yeah.
Even if he's just in for 5 seconds and gets thrown right back out, that's okay.
Like I said, he did just appear on OVW as Dude Love and had an episode of the Love
Tried to OVW. Yep.
I like hearing like the faces of Foley. I love always seeing Foley come out,
especially when he was playing multiple characters at once and threw himself out the last time he did it.
Yes, he threw his own self out to come back in as a different character. That was fucking classic Foley, honestly. But I really don't know who is not in certain promotions to like give names that I would like to see, because I do not like AEW. I don't like AEW only because I feel like
preaching to the choir, me and Steven right now.
Yeah, I feel like they just throw.
We got a club started for that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fuck AEW.
I really don't like AEW, and I know a lot of big names are still over there. But there are a couple of names that aren't over there that are in TNA.
Oh, I think we're going to see the Hardys. I
can't wait to see them. I am a Hardy girl. I love the Hardys.
I'm very impressed if we don't see them, actually.
All right. One second, guys. 1 second. Yes, Jen. I'm technically we're not technically not legally married, but yes, my girlfriend / wife is Jennifer as well, as is my sister. So yes, you could say
that did not sound good. I know what you meant, but the way you worded that was not fantastic.
Yes. My sister's name is Jennifer. She lives on the other side of the country. My girlfriend / wife's name is Jennifer. She is sleeping in the bedroom right now, and of course, we have our favorite Jen listening to us right now from Texas.
Our girl Friday.
But so surprise-wise for me, Joe Hendry, 100%. Joe Hendry's going to be there. The Hardy Boys I can see showing up. Other than that, some NXT guys, maybe Obafemi, Trick Williams probably, Ethan Page maybe. But other than that, I don't see too many. Maybe Rob Van Dam, because I know he's been back a couple of times and he kind of got screwed out of his segment at the ECW.
I would love that. I would love that.
Maybe Rhino. I'd love to see Booker T show up again because Booker T did just wrestle a match at his promotion. So he's still in shape.
That's true.
Maybe even Corey Graves. I don't know why I always want to call Corey Graves Connor for some reason. But maybe even Corey Graves. We don't know.
Yeah, we did mention that earlier. I think we might see Big Papa Pump.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's in shape to do that anymore. Steroids have kind of killed his ass.
I'm just saying, we might know.
We might. You never, like I said, you never know. So, are you guys free and clear?
Yep. For a few minutes, yes.
Yeah. All right. Do we have predictions for the winner of the men's Royal Rumble?
Like, I know Cena's entering, and they're trying to do a push, but I don't think Cena's going to win anything until Chamber.
No, he's not going to. Cena's going to be pushed at Chamber.
Yeah.
Cena's going to win the Chamber. And here's where I see him going for. I don't see him going for anything but the one title he hasn't held yet. The NXT title.
Yeah. That's actually pretty smart.
So one thing would lose their fucking minds.
I'm telling you, think about it. He has held every other title.
In the company, yeah.
He has been an IC champion. He's been a United States champion. He's been world and WWE champion. He's done it all. And a tag team champion.
Yep.
The only thing he hasn't held within the WWE is the NXT title. So if he wins the Rumble, he would go after the NXT title.
I don't think he's ever been a Universal champion. I don't think he was around when the Universal title came around.
That's true. The Universal title the Universal title was something else. I mean, I know it's been a new thing.
But still, though, it counts.
It counts. So he could go after the Universal, but I see him going after one of those titles that he hasn't caught.
Yeah, but we're talking about Rumble right now.
If I love to see John Cena win because.
But I don't think he'll win the Rumble.
But no, he won't win the Rumble. Yeah. Honestly, with the pop that's been going and being pushed, it's going to be CM Punk.
I think it's going to be Punk.
Oh, we're
not
all
necessarily who I want to win. It's just who I think is probably going to win.
I think we're all in agreement because I'm leaning towards Punk. Right? It could be anybody, really. There's a bunch. Yeah. This is like one of the first times, and this is why I always hated Vince's booking of the Rumble, because you'll have 29 guys that there's not a chance in fucking hell they're going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Or there'll be like 25 guys there's not a chance in hell they're going to win. Then you put those other 5 guys in, you're like, it's got to be one of these guys.
Yeah.
Like the one time he actually pulled it out of his ass was when he let Shinsuke Nakamura win.
Yeah. That's true.
And that's because they wanted AJ Styles and Nakamura at WrestleMania, and that match did not live up to the hype.
Yeah, that's true. It did not.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. CM Punk, I think, is going to win. Mainly because we don't. How many more Rumbles does CM Punk have? How many more WrestleManias?
Not many.
How many more WrestleManias does CM Punk have? You know,
it can't be many.
That's his dream, is to main event WrestleMania. So I see him winning, going after Cody. I can see Cena and Gunther after the Elimination Chamber. I can see John Cena and Gunther. It'll be a terrible match, but I can see it happening. I don't think Cena wins his 17th world title.
Yeah.
But Gunther and Cena, unless they're gonna hot potato it, because not on top of that, Cena only has 35 appearances this year.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
So even though WWE Raw is coming to Cincinnati here in next month, I don't think we're going to see Cena there. But I'm actually looking more towards the NXT show the next night. That's also going to be in Cincinnati that night. But yeah, CM Punk I think is definitely going to win. I don't know if it's going to be that great of a match. I think the Women's Rumble is going to have more surprises than the men's again. Just because, as I believe was Michelle that said earlier, there's not many guys out there that can come in and do it again. And then after everything with Jerry Lawler, like literally dying on air, I don't think
I watched that, Matt. I watched that night. It was insane.
I don't think they want to risk that again. So,
and I think it was because he was in that match earlier in that night.
Mm-hmm.
He took a really hard blow to the chest that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that too, he was really, really, he was up there in age at that time too. Now he looks looks terrible. But that's gonna but that's gonna do it.
Him and JR look horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think JR has been the same since his wife died, though.
No, that was it was such a tragedy. It was like, yeah.
So that's going to do it for Royal Rumble and WWE for right now. But we'll talk a little bit about the Indies. Something I want to start doing on the Hardcore Heels is talking a little more indie wrestling. Maybe even do some live calls of shows. But one of the stories, I don't know if it's necessarily a big story, but I thought it was funny. So Matt Riddle has been making a name for himself again on the Indies. He just recently won the Major League Wrestling heavy world title. Well, hold on, let me bring this tab up. It says this tab is not working. So
I enjoyed Matt Riddle for a while before everything went down.
I like Matt Riddle as a wrestler. He's a complete ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Matt Riddle has also been making appearances over, he just won the MLW World Championship from, was it Ishii, I think? I think it was Ishii. So he was also supposed to be, there's a wrestling company on YouTube called Memphis Championship Wrestling. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a throwback to the old Memphis wrestling back in the 80s, in the 70s, and that. I don't care for it. I think it's a little too cheesy for my liking. But he was basically, for about a month now, they've been advertising him to show up, promoting the hell out of him showing up in that. So the day comes around where he's supposed to be there for their big show, They get a call from him, and he's pulled out of the show literally the day of the taping.
Jesus.
Now, the story itself doesn't give us a reason why he called out or anything, but later that night he was spotted at Nick Hogan's wedding.
Wow.
Hanging out with like Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes. And while it's unclear if the no-show was directly linked to the wedding, it doesn't look good for him. So yeah, Basically Matt Riddle doing Matt Riddle shit.
Yeah.
See, don't care about GCW. Oh, we'll talk about GCW results at a later date. I kind of watched their London show, and I don't know what it is about Effie and GCW doing whatever they can to gross people out. But literally, Cara Noir, who I've never heard of, I think he's pretty big in England or the UK, vomited in his mouth.
Oh God!
During the match. I am not an Effie fan, and I know a lot of people, when I say this, they like to say it's because I'm homophobic, because he's over the top flamboyant when he comes out and stuff like that. And no, I could give two shits. I think Sonny Kiss is a great wrestler. But he's not a good wrestler to begin with. I will say that Effie's not a good wrestler to begin with. But the shit he pulls in the ring is just gross and disgusting.
Right.
And he's their champion.
Oh my gosh.
Vomiting in people's mouths. Wow.
Nope, the other guy vomited in his mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about the go ahead. I'm sorry, Michelle.
Say that's as bad as using fucking hypodermic needles in a match. Again, fuck AEW.
Now you're gonna get us yelled at on Twitter. They're gonna talk bad shit about us. So let's see. We'll do this. So needless to say, every time WWE heads to basically has one of their big shows, right? The indies basically descend on the city they're in. You know, it's famous for WrestleMania weekend, where it's going to be in Vegas this year. So all these independent companies are basically going to be setting up shows WrestleMania weekend, except for one. And do we know what company has now decided that not only will they not run, well, they haven't run a show yet either. Oh, they usually run their Ring of Honor shows. But do we also do a company who has also banned any of their wrestlers from wrestling on any independent show on WrestleMania weekend?
Gee, could it be the same company that I just said fuck to?
Possibility. But yeah, Tony Khan has basically, Ring of Honor usually holds their Super Card of Honor WrestleMania weekend, and
that's not going to everybody.
Yeah, when Ring of Honor was actually meant something, yes.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that this year. They're not running a show WrestleMania weekend, and he has literally sent a memo out. Any talent contracted to AEW may not participate in any wrestling show that weekend in Las Vegas.
So Tony, tell us that you're trying to be Vince McMahon without telling us you're trying to be Vince McMahon.
I don't think he's honestly trying to. It's just coming out.
Literally.
It's just happening.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm going to change my interesting things in the Royal Rumble for the Men's Royal Rumble. You're also going to see what's left of the actual AEW stable, because there's definitely enough spots left.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to find this show. Oh, here it is right here, actually. I got a couple of shows that are running that weekend. But, yeah, like, he's banned, like, hey, guys, I know I pay you a shit ton, and I know sometimes you guys like to go out and, hone your craft at independent shows and try to learn how to work, because God knows I'm not going to fucking show you.
And see some of your friends?
Yeah.
But now you're not going to be allowed to do this, and we're not going to help the indies or anything like that, because remember when I started a company 6 years ago and I kind of killed the indies by taking all the talent off of the indies and all the talent out of New Japan? Yeah, you guys are
ruining all their careers.
To a point, yes. To some of these guys, like MJF, will not be the same. Will never be the same.
No.
And
No.
I know MJF. I met him numerous times when he was a rookie. Cool guy, he never drops that fucking shtick. Cool guy. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate who his uncle is, but he now, in his defense, he has done his best to
distance
himself from Mr. Feinstein. But it's just he's not going to be the same. And I've seen a couple of viewers just dropped off because I'm starting to talk shit about AEW.
That's okay.
I'm not worried about it. It's funny to me at most. But there's certain guys that aren't gonna no one's ever gonna hire John Moxley again. If WWE brings him back, it's gonna be as a just for a Shield reunion. That's it. Chris Jericho, you'll never see Chris Jericho in a WWE ring again. If he comes back, it's gonna be for the Hall of Fame.
Oh no, he said he will decline a Hall of Fame induction. He does not want anything to do with the WWE anymore. That was actually an article that just came out today.
I think there's another Rhodes we'll see back at some point.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a Rhodes we'll see it again.
The only thing I have to say to that is CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever thought, that was a cold day in fucking hell that we'd ever see Bret Hart back in the WWE ring, let alone CM Punk in the WWE ring. So I have said this for 20 years now, and it still rings true to this day. They always come back.
Oh
yeah.
Chris,
hell, think about what Sting said. He would never work for Vince McMahon. Sting said he would never work for Vince McMahon, and what happened?
2 matches.
Enough money got thrown his way.
Exactly. But once Jericho can't go anymore, or AEW shuts its doors, and the thing about it is I think Warner Brothers is going to close down way before AEW will. Jericho's going to come out with his hand out. He'll be back with his hand out. It's just going to happen, They always come back. So WrestleCon is this weekend in Indianapolis. Hell of a lineup of people you can go meet.
So I'm making fun of Matt because he forgot about the show tonight.
Mm-hmm. I know where he lives.
Yep.
So I don't know. Should we run down the? It's a bunch of people you kind of figure is going to be. I'm not going to run down the guest list, but there's a couple of shows this weekend in Indianapolis. Starting with the Wrestling Revolver. Wrestling Revolver is ran by Sammy Callahan, 2 local boys actually from Dayton, Ohio. Sammy Callahan and Jake Christ. I think Sammy does most of the booking. If I get done with Bloody Binge tomorrow in time, I probably will be watching this. The cards so far, what they have, BDE and Alpha Sigma Sigma. I don't know who any of those people are.
Nope.
Versus First Class AJ Francis. That's Top Dollar from WWE. Rich Swann and Casey Navarro.
Okay. I know who Rich Swann is.
I know who Rich Swann is.
Yeah. Guy who used to wrestle locally quite a bit when Rockstar was going. First time ever, Masha Slamovich versus Ace Austin, another Dayton local.
Yeah.
Funny story about Ace Austin. So during the pandemic, he was still wrestling in TNA. He was actually the X Division champion. Austin lives in Dayton. Him and his wife actually last year or the year before, their apartment burned down and they lost everything.
Yep.
So I'm walking through Fairfield Mall one day. I mean, this is after everything opened up after the pandemic and that. This is around Christmas time. And I look over right outside of Hot Topic, and who do I see sitting there selling pops but the TNA X Division champion?
Nice.
And I'm looking, going, dude, you're like literally the second top champion in the company. How much are they paying you?
Right.
But yeah, he was selling pops right outside of the like for Hot Topic at a kiosk right outside the store.
Damn, dude.
Great wrestler though. He is a great wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have an indie street fight between Steve Macklin and Emmy Award winner Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
Finally.
He is, dude, that man, we actually got to watch his panel with Mick Foley at Horror Hound this year. He is actually pretty fucking incredible. Like, fucking Stingray.
Yeah, no.
He I just on the last episode of MLW actually, they have a group, they actually have a horseman, the Rogue Horseman. It is literally Bobby Fish, who, when the hell did Bobby Fish start looking like a 60-year-old man?
That's crazy. I know that is too, yeah.
Is it, God, what's that? Hold on, I gotta look. I can never remember this other guy's name, but it's got the Andersons, C.W. Anderson and Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son.
Yeah.
They're, like I said, they're called the Rogue Horsemen. I can never remember this other guy's name. Brett Ryan Goslin. I always say that because Goslin, when I hear Goslin, I'm like, wait, is that like the Octomom? Or not the Octomom, was it Kate plus 8 or whatever?
Yeah.
I think of the actor.
They're going to have
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
But they're going to have an indie street fight between Steve Macklin and Paul Walter Hauser. TNA's Steve Macklin, that is. The Revolver Remix title match. I don't know what they're going to do with this because Jake Something versus Crash Jackson. Jake Something is defending. However, Jake Something did just relinquish the title because he is injured.
Oh.
So I don't know if they'll probably throw somebody else in the match and have whoever wins is the champion.
Yeah.
And then the main event for the Revolver World Title. This is a match I've seen live at Rockstar so many times, and it never disappointed. But we have Myron Reed, who is defending the Revolver World Title match against his brother. His brother, like, these are two rascals. Trey Miguel. Plus, you will also see Sammy Callahan, Gringo Loco. Which, have you guys seen Gringo Loco?
I have.
I don't think I have. No.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome.
Really good. Gia Miller, I have no idea who that is. Jake Christ, Rohit Raju from former TNA. I want to say he's a former TNA X Division champion. Damian Chambers, Phil Stamper, and surprises.
And surprises.
Yeah. So that's going to be the Wrestling Revolver show tomorrow. It is actually tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, so 7 o'clock our time.
Okay.
That'll be followed up with, at least on Triller TV, with the GCW Up All Night, starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. That they have 3 matches listed. Gringo Loco, who will be playing double duty actually, will be coming in to wrestle Calvin Tankman.
Ooh,
that's a big boy.
Very, very big boy.
Masha Slamovich also, actually both of these are doing double duty tomorrow night. Masha Slamovich will be defending the Jersey Championship Wrestling title against Myron Reed.
Wow.
And then a tag team match, the Koger brothers, Atticus and Otis, versus Janelisis, Joey Janela and Megan Bain. Megan Bain being the latest AEW signee. So we got that going on this weekend. They have WrestleCon going on. You can spend all that money and get your favorite wrestlers' autographs. Matt Cardona will be in town. That's another guy I think could show up at the Rumble. Actually.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
We were actually just watching a video. I was flipping through like Facebook, and it's like patiently waiting for Matt Cardona, the Hardy Boys, Joe Hendry, and Santino to enter the men's Rumble.
I do believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
But you got the Andersons there, Arn and Brock, Bill Alfonso, Ken Anderson. Like, just so many people are going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Legends, modern wrestlers. James Ellsworth, you can go meet Mr. No Chin himself. Hey, for $30, you get an autograph and a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie Forbes, Rob Van Dam's wife.
Yeah.
She might shake her ass at you.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys. Billy Gunn, Chavo Guerrero Jr. The Headbangers. Ain't seen them in a while. Them. Paul Walter Hauser, Indy Hartwell, Joe Hendry, Mark Henry, don't know who that is, Maki Ito, Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, he's been starting to come back out of his shell lately.
He has.
Yeah, Hollywood Haley J, who is, I believe she's the NWA champion, women's champion. Mickey James, JBL, Congo Kong, Maria Kanellis, not with her husband though.
Right.
Teddy Long, Jerry Lawler, Luchasaurus, Lex Luger, Dean Malenko. Raz, I know you're gonna go to Indy just to get Lex Luger's autograph.
Oh yeah.
I'll
definitely leave the convention that I'm selling my books at this weekend in Michigan just to go there for that.
Just to go meet Miss Elizabeth's killer.
Yeah.
I had to.
Now tell us what you really think about him.
Oh.
He's been shit.
But Joe Offerman, Bray Wyatt's, widow, Bob Orton. I'm sorry, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. Another one I thought. Honestly, I thought he was dead too. I ain't gonna lie, but I think it's just his brother. I know his brother died, Barrio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Powers of Pain. Myron Reed. Yeah, both the Warlord, Terry Sapinski, and the Barbarian.
Oh, Jesus.
Have Rhino. Matt Riddle up. No, wait, no, he no-showed. Rikishi. Jake the Snake Roberts.
That's
Not only do we
surprising.
have the Godfather, but on Saturday only, we have Papa Shango.
Ooh.
And you're not going to believe this.
That's for me.
Yeah, I would go. So I would go for Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Asshole used to scare the shit out of me as a kid.
Loved him.
Somebody found Perry Saturn.
Where'd they find him hiding?
I don't know, but he's
under a rock.
He's gonna be at the convention.
Oh, I thought he was the girls' volleyball coach.
Possibly. Ron Simmons. Ricky Steamboat.
Oh wow.
Rob Van Dam. Somebody found SoCal Val.
What the fuck?
What?
Yes, somebody has found, because SoCal Val will be there.
Wow.
It's amazing what you can find when you troll enough methadone clinics.
Lisa Marie Varone, a.k.a. Tara, a.k.a. Victoria from WWE. And finally, Mance Warner, the newest TNA signee.
Interesting.
You'll also, the main people they got there, I guess the headliners would be Sting. You can get his autograph and a picture for $150.
Ooh.
John Moxley. Again, you can get his photo and picture for $125.
I don't think he's worth that right now. I hate to say it. I love him. I just don't feel like he's worth it anymore.
Nah. And Renee Paquette, Mrs. Moxley, for a whole $40. So that's what's happening in Indianapolis. There's really, I don't know. Have you seen this stuff with Asuka?
Not really. What's going on with Asuka?
She's made some really weird tweets. Basically almost like someone stalking her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of creepy. Let me bring it up real quick.
Maybe it's the Wyatts.
I think she'd be lucky if it was the Wyatts, but it sounds like
Yeah.
no. It sounds like something really, really scary though.
Yeah, I'm
Where
reading
did
it
they
about.
start? Yeah, I've been feeling in danger recently. I've already consulted the police. At this rate, even if fans approach me at the airport or in the city, don't do that. Stop being assholes. Stop doing that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will feel
guys, do not approach stars. Doesn't matter if they're wrestlers, if they're sports people, if they're movie stars, TV stars. Don't do that. They are normal people who are trying to live their life just like you are.
At the most from distance, I'd be like, "Thank you, Oscar," and I keep walking. I wouldn't even, you know what I mean?
which is fine. Saying hi
From a
and stuff like that
distance.
is fine. But you got these.
And then if they
assholes
wave
that-
you close, then if they wave you in, that's an acceptance. Otherwise, you just stay and you keep moving.
like I said, and that's fine. Saying hi, hey, I loved you in this movie. I love you. I think you're an awesome wrestler. That's one thing. But you got these guys in the airports that'll walk up with them with like 30 pops, 20 figures, and want them to sign them for free because they want to turn around and sell them on the internet.
Yeah,
That's
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, don't be that asshole.
Yeah,
like
don't be that guy.
I used to know a guy who used to go to Rockstar, and every time wrestling came to town, whether it was in Dayton or Cincinnati, this dude found out what hotel they were staying in. And he would go wait in the lobby of the hotel and just get their pictures and shit like that. And it's like, dude, you're being really fucking creepy right now, right? Like, that's not cool or okay.
Like, the most I did, because I used to work for a developmentally disabled group home, and I would take a couple of the individuals there to go see Raw on a Monday night down in Cincinnati or up here in Dayton. And the most that we would do is stand out with the rest of the fans outside, like around the buses, and just try to get a wave or something like that. The last time I took one of my guys to an event, he was having trouble doing stairs, so it was up here at the Nutter Center, and they actually allowed me to go to the backstage area to use the elevator, which is only reserved for the superstars. And he got to wait, like a bunch of superstars waved to him, and he had the time of his life that night, because that was something that he didn't get to do. But I wouldn't do that.
See, I used to go to the restaurants the wrestlers was at, but to be fair, my whole family worked for Hair Arena, and so did I. So we knew the wrestlers, and that's how we knew exactly where they were going to be. And it was, if you have time, stop by and say hi, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I didn't do that
We didn't stalk
them.
people.
Yeah, I didn't do that to have them say hi to him. I did that because I wanted him to be safe.
Right.
And like at the buses, everybody else was standing around the buses to wave to wrestlers. So that's I got him a picture with Natalia, because we actually had ringside seats, and so Natalia was walking past, she saw him and fell in love with him. But don't be that person who takes a bunch of shit for somebody to sign just so you can turn around and sell it. That's fucking
and mostly
shitty.
just don't make people feel comfortable for your own self-amusement.
Yeah, don't make people feel uncomfortable for you. They're not there for you, they're there for everybody.
They're on their time.
Well, that's the thing, and that's that's like just common etiquette. If somebody's at dinner, let them eat their dinner. Don't interrupt them like 50 times. At the conventions, especially Days of the Dead, they have a restaurant in the hotel that a lot of the stars, the celebrities that come to sign autographs in that. You'll see Kate Hodder sitting at the bar. You know what you don't do? Go tap him on the shoulder and ask for an autograph, because you come back tomorrow when he's selling them for like $40.
See, I'll go tap him on the shoulder and I'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing, you old son of a bitch?"
Yeah.
I have a very different relationship with him, though.
Yeah.
And trust me, I have done that very thing in the past.
So,
we've been yelled at by Kane.
So basically, she's writing down that I will feel the possibility that something might happen and it will scare me, making me unable to respond. Then she goes on. I always tell you, keep our special relationship a secret from the public. Don't expose. Oh, that's something she's writing towards Naya. I absolutely reject any romantic or personal approaches toward me. There is absolutely no possibility for others to interfere in my private life.
Good.
So I don't know what's going on with her. Hopefully she's safe and not being stalked. But that was just weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading about it here. I've been reading about it too, and she feels extremely unsafe.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Like there's something going on, and it's not our business, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
like I said, I just hope she's safe. I hope she's
big time.
I want her to come back. Gotta be come back. So
I'll tell you, I love Asuka, and I think like she's a genuinely good person. And from the moment that she won the women's Money in the Bank match, that gave her first title.
Yeah, and tried to cash it in, Becky.
And then she finds out you're having you're going to be a mom. That was what she was more excited about. She didn't care that she was given the title. She was more excited that Becky was about to be a mom.
Yeah,
they said that she did. They didn't tell her.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Oh, yeah, you could tell that was a real reaction.
She didn't know she was getting the title that night either. But
she was more excited for the baby.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't her first championship. That was like her second or third, I think.
Yeah.
But on top of that, first Royal Rumble winner, first women's Royal Rumble winner, even though she was upstaged by Ronda Rousey.
Needlessly.
But she first Royal Rumble winner. I believe, like you said, she's won Money in the Bank. She's won Elimination Chamber, I think. I could be wrong on that one though. She's just one of the icons of professional wrestling for the past 5 years.
She's a future Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
To me, she's like probably one of the best women's wrestlers out there.
Oh yeah,
not the best women's wrestler out there. No, Sasha can go suck a big one.
Nah, forget her. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Asuka and Rhea. I do feel like that would be a very good match.
Other than that, I think that's really it. I know Stephanie McMahon has a new ESPN show coming out. I don't care about that. I probably won't be watching it. Not because I don't like Stephanie McMahon, just I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. But okay, we're going to wrap this up. Michelle, where can we find you at?
You can find me at Hell's Dungeon. You can find me on Facebook. Michelle Gilbert. Honestly, I really don't do much anything else.
She's thinking about doing some TikTok stuff here soon, though. She's been talking about some different ideas.
I've had a couple ideas for a couple different TikToks.
And you have plenty of scenery to do it in.
Well, see, that's the thing.
If you're doing creepy.
I've been thinking about a series about living in a haunted attraction.
That would.
And then there was also the cooking with weed one too.
There's also a cooking with weed one, but a lot of people do cooking with weed shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, when I tried to promote our 420 night on TikTok, my video got banned.
Yeah, it happens.
You have to be very careful on what you say on TikTok. TikTok, you have to say broccoli or trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of codes.
Yeah.
It's like back when weed was completely illegal and you had to have all the code words when you went to buy it. It's gone to that again.
Yeah. Lettuce is another good one.
I think all I did was put our flyer up and then put smoke 2 joints in the morning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They eventually put it back up, but I'm pretty sure it was shadow banned.
Oh yeah.
Like hard. But yeah. All right, Raz, where can we find you?
You can literally just type in Raz T Slasher and find me in pretty much every social media outlet there is. Chances are you're probably gonna be talking to Jenny because she handles most of that for me. Unless you message my my normal Facebook, if you can even find it, it's different name. Or if you catch me on the Slasher app, I also am I run my own on Slasher. RazTSlasher.com is where you can find out pretty much all the books I got going on, audio stuff, everything's there. Now this weekend, you can find me at the Michigan Horror and Oddities Festival over in Monroe, Michigan. I'll be there selling my books, promoting the Owlite Network and Hell's Dungeon Haunted Attraction. And otherwise, you can find me pretty much still doing tons of shit for Hell's Dungeon. I know we've all got multiple events coming up. The 13th, February 13th is the dungeon, is the first comedy night we're doing, Hellbound Humor. 14th is our traditional Valentine's Day haunt, and then the 15th is our murder mystery dinner and haunt. So there's 3 nights right there for Valentine's Day weekend that you can come check us out for totally different things.
Yeah, you guys don't want to do that. You'll see me in a pink leotard. It's not very fun, not very attractive. It's
worth it.
It's kind of fucking scary. And as usual, you can find me anywhere on any social media at Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. You can find it on Facebook. You can also find Hardcore Heels, the show you are listening to, as a group on Facebook, and as well as Shivers, my paranormal podcast that I do once a month. But you can also find me tomorrow afternoon, Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. We are watching Thai horror movie Premika, a.k.a. Killer Karaoke. I've watched it this afternoon, and it's really fucking silly. You can also... Let's see, where else can you find me? You can find me on Twitch. I got to get back on Twitch a little more. Sewer Dweller 78. I do have a TikTok as well. I believe it is Sewer Dweller. Don't quote me on that. Where you can see all of my personas that I portray, I guess you could say. And as always, you can find me every Friday. Coming up on the Bloody Binge Movie Podcast, I have my February movies and my March movies listed, although I didn't think about it. I might have to push one of the March movies back because the week of the 22nd to the 23rd, I will be down in Cincinnati at Horror Hound.
Yes.
So if you guys live in the Cincinnati, March 21st through the 23rd, if you guys are in the Cincinnati area, you can find me there if you know what I look like, that is. Come say hi. Tell me you listen to the show. I will probably be in costume. I've not decided what I'm going to dress up as yet. More than likely, one day I'll be Coney. But I don't know what else I'm going to do. I want to play with... I want to get some of these... because I've been looking at a lot of makeup tutorials on YouTube lately, and there's some with these prosthetics that I want to try out, honestly.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I have some Asuka news.
Mm-hmm.
As of her win with the Elimination Chamber in 2023, she is the only woman in the WWE that has won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber matches.
Wow.
She is awesome.
She is awesome, Asuka.
But I think also this might start be a weekly thing. I think it will be talking wrestling, at least all the way through the Wrestlemania.
Yeah.
Also on the Hardcore Heels, we do still have an episode to record. Me, Raz, and Matt, and Michelle can join as well for the first 3 episodes of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the first 3 ever episodes.
Yeah.
Do that eventually.
Ooh.
I have to subject everybody to Rob. What's his name? That son of a... I've watched the first match and I forgot how annoying that son of a bitch is.
Yeah.
One of the only things I remember about the first Monday Night Raw is Bobby the Brain Heenan trying to sneak in so many different costumes.
Yes, that's what made the first Monday Night. Rob Bartlett, that piece of shit.
Yeah, Bartlett.
I'm watching the first match. This is a preview of the show. The first match is Yokozuna and Coco Beware, and 3 minutes into the match, he's already made 10 fat jokes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But the good news is it gets better as it goes, because by the 3rd episode, we're getting Mr. Perfect versus Ric Flair in a loser leaves town match.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's always fun. We'll still keep doing some old school wrestling every now and then, but I think this might be a regular thing, at least for me. And then
And we have a night and day already lined up for it. So
there we go. So Raz and
a
Michelle,
night and day, a night and time. I mean,
Raz and Michelle are always welcome to join for the Hardcore
Yeah.
Heels, as well as Matt, if
he remembers.
If he remembers.
Mhm.
But guys, we will see you next week. I will see you tomorrow. As you know, make sure tomorrow 4:05 p.m. or 4:05 ish. Tune in tomorrow for Premica. I don't know if Jen is going to join me tomorrow yet or not. I'll talk to her about that. Anybody else, Raz, if you want to join, if you want to watch this movie, that's up to you if you wish to join or not.
We'll be heading down to Monroe, Michigan tomorrow. Yeah.
Literally, like right at that time, we're going to be right in the middle of driving up there.
Yeah, with multiple people in the car, so that'll be kind of difficult.
Then I will see you guys next week.
Definitely.
See ya.
Have a great one, guys.